so are you busy? And good morning to you from sunny Newlands, a third sunny day here, which is something that I don't grow accustomed to in Johannesburg most of the times in summer. But we are here for the third day of the Women's Super League. And it's been a great 2 days of cricket. And today is the final day, closing out what would be a potential final if we have one on the last day. My name is Mpho Mutlwane, and we've got Chris Tyndall-Bisco. James King is here as well. He'll be joining us later on. We'll be taking you through the first power play session of the first game on the third day, which is the Duchesses, led by Sune Lis, and the Starlights, who are led by Lara Goodall. The Duchesses won the toss and they have chosen to bat first. And as you see the players coming on to the field, a couple of changes here, Chris, from the Starlights perspective. You were mentioning that the Starlights have a tendency of dropping their top scorer in the previous game.
Yeah.
This time, Henri Dirksen is out.
I don't know if it's dropping so much as, strong culture of squad rotation. As, Kushi Mystery was out of the second game after top scoring in the first, and now Henri Dirksen's out of the third game after top scoring in the second. So the two players out for the Starlights are Lee Jones and Henri Dirksen, and in their places return Henri Grobler, the wicket keeper, and Kushi Mystery.
Yes, Lizal Lee giving up the gloves to the young Henri Grobler to keep there. On the Duchesses side, just one change. The youngster Mona Lisa Lachudi, who I heard yesterday is 14 years old, moving out for Gabi Nkosi. Mona Lisa Lachudi taking a wicket yesterday, and Gabi Nkosi coming in for her. No changes there from the Duchesses. They've been unlucky with the loss of Mignon Dupre. You could see that they were missing that middle order bat. They just the only team that hasn't won a game, but they've managed to score over 100 runs in every single game.
Yeah, very much off the back of the captain Sine Elise, the top run scorer in the competition so far. 53 in the first game, 42 in the second.
How often do you get one of the team that doesn't win, or the team that does poorly with one of the top scorers in the tournament? And so we are ready to go. It looks as though Masabata Class will be taking the first over of this final day, and
Faye
Tunnicliffe, who
was very unlucky yesterday, run out of the first delivery after a little bit of miscommunication.
Is it luck or a little piece of great skill from one of South Africa's great fielders?
Unlucky that she played this as such a
She
skillful
played it straight to
fielder.
Tumi.
Yeah, that's the unlucky part, is it was Tumi that received it.
Yes, so looking at it, it's Faye Tunnicliffe opening the batting, and she'll face the first ball. Her counterpart on the other end, her teammate, is Gandhi Jafta. She had a nice little cameo there of 23 runs of 20 balls. A beautiful pull shot over square leg for six.
Not many people can say that they pulled Shabnam Ismail for six.
Yes, actually, I don't think there is ever. I think we were being told by Shannon Lutman-Creel, who's one of our team members, that she has never seen someone in provincial hit Shabnam for six. We're ready for the first ball here at 6 Gun Grill Newlands. Good, tidy first ball there. Lizal Lee getting in the action at a point early on. So, lay of the land, Chris. What do both teams need to win the WSL?
Well, one of these teams can't win the WSL. Unfortunately, the Duchesses, after not getting a win from either of the first 2 days, are just trying to get a first win under their belts now today.
Yes. Masabata in again. That one will be a wide ball. She struggled a little bit with the extras yesterday, on day one, but yesterday it was a little bit better for the Duchesses, but the first wide, for the Starlights, I beg your pardon, but the first wide of the day going to Masabata class. The Starlights, however, Chris, if the Starlights win, they'll go to 2 wins.
Yeah, so they'll join the Thistles, who are the other side, currently sitting on 2 wins, and then it'll all come down to the final game between the Coronations and the Thistles.
Turning in down to leg side, just Masabata getting that ball to swing into that right-hander, and it's just no run there. Great fielding from that is
That's Tatum LaRue.
Tatum LaRue, yes, number 14. And
Masabata class
yes,
opening
and
bowling partner in the first 2 days, probably again today.
And so the Starlights need a win, and they need to hope the Coronations beat the Thistles to create
But
a
not by
three-way
too
tie
much.
at the top.
And then it'll all come down to net run rate. We'll have those numbers closer to the time, exactly what each team needs to do.
Good first over so far. No runs off the bat. The only run that's come off so far is the wide ball, the extra that has been bowled. The field setting, in the power play overs in a T20, you're only allowed 2 fielders outside the ring. That is Kushi Mystery here to our right
At third man.
at the very squarish third man, and you've got a deep square leg as well out on the boundary. And that square leg is going to come into action right now, but the ball is too quick for her, and it will go out for the first 4 of the day.
Yeah, I was about to mention the fact that generally Masabata class has had a fine leg and a third man, but now they've opted for the square leg instead, maybe anticipating some more aggressive batting and maybe some shorter pitch deliveries.
Well, that was the first shorter length ball that Faye Tunnicliffe got, and as she made hay while the sun's shining at Newlands. I would possibly think that taking one of the fielders on the offside and putting them possibly at a square leg to deter that pull shot. Oh, that's a beautiful ball just outside the right-hander there, tempting Faye Tunnicliffe to come to play at that, but she pulled away just at the right time.
Yeah, also worth mentioning, Masabata class, the leading wicket taker in this tournament so far, and also was the leading wicket taker in both previous iterations of the competition.
Yes, she had 9 in the first 2 WSLs, so today she starts off with 6. So a great return for her on the bowling front as she looks to cement her place in the Proteas women's team.
Oh, lovely delivery there from Masabata class. Just rushes Faye Tunnicliffe.
She's getting that ball to swing in and seam into the right-hander, and so it's a very good skill to have the ball to go away, and also the ability to bring it in to the right-hander. So she's had a very good over so far. Masabata 5 for no loss are the Duchesses, and we get to see a youngster in Gandhi Jafta to open the batting. She really excited me yesterday with the way she was playing her shots. She was very mature, especially opening the batting against Shabnim Ismail, who was cranking it up.
Yeah, managed 23 in that. As we see, Masabata class's bowling opening partner continued, Tatum LaRue again for the 3rd day in a row. Don't be thrown off. It's a short run-up, but she does bowl it very quickly off that short run-up.
On day 1, we thought we were deceived, and we were like, wait, is she a spin bowler or is she a quick? But Tatum LaRue on that short run-up can generate some serious pace.
Definitely, yeah, experienced campaigner for Western Province.
Yes, the Duchesses will be hoping for a very strong start here. You've got a fine leg and a third man on the boundary. We'll give you the other fielding positions after this ball. Good first ball from Tatum LaRue, inducing the drive from Gandhi Jafta. Slip in place, backward point, conventional point. You've got a fielder at extra cover, mid-on, mid-off, as well as a fielder at mid-wicket on the circle.
Oh, shorter delivery, and again, Gandhi Jafta showing us that pull shot as this one runs away to the mid-wicket boundary for a 4.
She's pulling them very nicely, is Gandhi Jafta. Really great shot there from her. If you just drag it in short, she's not afraid to climb on top of that and dispatch it for 4. Fuller ball, beautiful ball from Tatum Luru, inducing the swing. It's a swing and a miss there from Gandhi Jafta. A little bit of seam away from the batter there.
Good confidence from Jafta, I suppose, after that previous shot, but not getting bat onto this one.
Yeah, she came in slightly, a little bit too quick from a timing perspective. Another short ball to Gandhi Jafta, who just paddles it around the leg side, bringing in Kushi Mystery for her first involvement in the game. And that opens up, takes the total to 10 off 10 balls so far, run a ball. Something that we are hoping to see. We're hoping to see a few more scores closer to about 120, 130.
Well, we saw lots of that yesterday. Yeah, a couple of 130 scores and then 140 later in the day.
Yes, all 4 teams yesterday managing to score above 100 yesterday, which is really good to see. The first day we had a low-scoring game with 100 playing 89. The Thistles are showing their strength with that bowling attack, that all-seam attack that decimated the Duchesses.
All-seam and then
the Starlights in that first game.
Jade
de Figueiredo, who just got 3 wickets yesterday, which is the reason why the Thistles are the unbeaten team today. And that's a great line there from Tatum Lou, just outside the off-stump. Faye Tunnicliffe not wanting to make an error there and just respecting the bowler for the good ball that she's bowled.
Yeah, I think she understands the importance of being patient in the beginning. She got a bit of a start in the first game, 23, I think, and then unfortunate in the second. She was one of the players to have 100 in this in the WSL. She scored 106 last year.
Yes, she scored 106, I think, off of about 60 odd balls.
Yeah, if you're scoring 100 in T20s, it does have to be pretty quick, or you've used a lot of deliveries.
No, but I think in this game, I think what the Duchesses are trying to do is to give themselves every chance of winning the game, and that one is to give your top 4, that being Jafta, Tunnicliffe, Jafta, Klaas. It will be Elisa Exleben and possibly even Sinala Jafta, who might be promoted up the order to bat at 4 today, to just give themselves time. Let themselves get in, get their timing correct, and try and take your innings as deep as possible. Sinead Lees has been such a great anchor. She's just missed people around her to complement her from a run scoring perspective.
The pre-absence, as you were mentioning.
And Mignon was their first pick in the draft for the Duchesses. Actually, number 2 pick in the draft because Laura was first for the Coronations and Mignon was picked second.
Missing Robin Searle as well, who can be a notable absence.
Yes, that is a massive, massive absence there. Back foot punch out to the offside from Gandhi Jafta. Masabata Klaas on the money so far today after that first ball that was a wide that she bowled. The other set of balls that she has bowled have been quite on the money, forcing making the batsmen think, balls coming in, balls moving away, keeping that tight line outside off stump. Straight drive, a beautiful shot from Gandhi Jafta, and she takes that single with aplomb there. Very good drive. Should have been for more runs, but nonetheless, still
seemed
good
to slow down, and Tatum Luru was able to pick it up there.
Good technique from Gandhi Jafta there. Shot from Faye Tunnicliffe, only good for 1. Went past the field at extra cover. However, mid-off is quite square there, so that made it a lot easier for the fielder there to get to that ball. That is Andrew Steyn, yes. So okay, Laura Goodall at mid-wicket, Tatum Luru at mid-on, Andrew Steyn at mid-off. squared up there from that ball by Masabata Class, and Gandhi Jafta just playing it out to the offside no run. Yeah, so it's gonna be the Sune Lisa at the post-match press conference yesterday. We'll just talk about this after this ball. Cut! Shot! Beautiful shot from Gandhi Jafta. Another 4 to her total there. That takes that total up to 16 for the Duchesses. So now Sune Lees was talking about how inexperienced this team was. She was mentioning that a couple of her youngsters, when they were facing up to Shabnim at the back end of the innings, were just so shocked at how quick Shabnim was.
Baptism of fire. You don't want to come in as a tail ender and have to face Shabnim Ismail.
Yeah, and I think the one thing I'm hoping for with the WSL going forward is that a large part of the squads are allowed to retain a certain number of players in order for them to be able to build and have continuity. Beautiful ball outside off. There's an appeal for an edge there to Henri Grobler. Great glove work from her, but the umpire is unmoved. End of that over is a 16 without loss. That's a peach of a ball.
Someone's wearing 2. I don't have 2.
Yes, as you look at that ball again from Masabata Class, she heard something, but that was a great line there, 5th stump line, drawing the bats forward, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful ball.
I got it.
Okay. And Tatum LaRue to resume from the Weinberg end of the ground. The slip is out. You've got Cushy Mystery is now being told to come in at fine leg inside the circle. You've got a square leg out for the pull shot, as well as the third man for the cut outside the off stump. Drive there from Faye Tunnicliffe. Straight to Captain Lara Goodall for no run at mid-off.
Yeah, very even contest so far, I would say. Good controlled bowling from these two, which we've seen so far from Klaas and LaRue. But also no breakthroughs just yet.
This one, Tatum LaRue straying down the leg side, shot the stumps, and close from Masabata Class there, and Faye Tunnicliffe nearly lost her wicket there.
Would not be very pleased to be run out 2 matches in a row, Faye Tunnicliffe.
Yes, I think Faye was just hoping that Masabata Class wasn't as accurate there, and she ended up not being accurate. Down the leg side, therefore, the umpire doesn't call a wide there.
They've just been over the top of the wickets, we'll have to.
Yeah, I think she mentions that it came off the thigh pad of Gandhi Jafta there. I think fortunate to Tatum LaRue for that ball. It wasn't a great ball from her to start off with. She's bowled quite well, especially outside the off stump of the right-hander. Another one tailing in to Gandhi Jafta, who drives that down to the leg side, and she gets a ball.
Yeah.
That is a ball on the knee
Christine
for her,
Tomlinson did just
for her hard work.
Straight aiming at the wickets, but in between her and the wickets was Gandhi Jafta, and from short range was just pelted with that delivery. With
that is very sore. Yes, Gandhi Jafta wearing some war scars today for the Duchesses. Four fielders on the offside on the ring, 3 on the onside for Tatum LaRue.
And that one is widened.
Mm-hmm. It's really hard, because to a certain extent you don't want to give the batsman a lot of width, but also you probably want to get that toe end of the bat. So if there is a shot, it comes off part of the bat that might bring in those ring fielders there on the offside. That's a much better line from Tatum Rue, and bringing in number 2, Nicole de Klerk, who is in her second match in the WSL. She played yesterday. Didn't get an opportunity to bat though, and so she'll be hoping to get in on the action for the Starlights in their batting innings. Oh. Pull shot over past the fielder there at mid-wicket on the circle. She was in with a shout, but that went like a tracer rocket to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, very solid way to finish the over there from the Duchesses.
Christine Tomlinson was the fielder there at mid-wicket. She thought about going for it, but Faye Tanicliffe, once it got off Faye Tanicliffe's bat, it had 4 written all over it. So end of the 4th, 23 without loss. Very good opening stand for the Duchesses. Sinead Lees was always coming in the first over of the matches for the past 2 games.
So I'm sure she'll appreciate having an established base when she comes in.
It will be, we've got a change in bowling, and it looks like it will be Evodia Yekile. Yes. We're just trying to check to see who it will be. It will.
Wearing the right number today. He's wearing number 6 today. It's
Okay. The bowler today is Nondumiso Shangase, first change. Apologies for that. We were given team sheets with players' names with numbers, both number 9, and that is Ivode Gile and Shangase. So from the Calvin Grove end, it's Nondumiso Shangase from KZN Coastal. She gets the edge off the first ball from that she bowls, and it was Gandhi Jafta who was induced into that stroke. They'll take 2 for that, as there is no fielder at third man or even a slip there. So I think Laura Goodall might want to support her bowler there after that beautiful first ball was full, was flighted, and induced the stroke there. Gandhi Jafta coming forward to the right arm off spin of Nondumiso Shangase. Great shot there from Gandhi. I'll take a single there. Nondumiso bowling it quite full, giving it a little bit of flight, and Gandhi Jafta doing what you'd want batters to do, especially when they're playing spin. Be positive, play on that front foot, and she's done well for those first 3 balls just coming forward. Nondumiso with a darter, quicker one there, and forcing Faye to play it off the back foot to her for no run. Interestingly enough, there is the 2 fielders out on the mid-wicket boundary and the long on boundary for that long hit, and this one is a drive past the fielder at backward point. Lizelle Lee's chasing it, but she will lose the race to the ball for Faye Tanicliffe there. Nondu getting a little bit of the ball just holding its line there and just enabling the batters to be able to hit that ball, or to hit that ball to the boundary there, and getting there. It's just a line that's slightly wide that's helping Faye and Gandhi.
I was about to say, both the seamers obviously had the third man, as is pretty common now. And I was going to say you don't often need that for the spinner, but immediately proven wrong as that ball does run away to the third man boundary.
Yeah, she needs to bowl it slightly closer to that off stump to force much better ball there. Fuller one, and where the mid wicket was before the previous ball, the mid wicket was moved away from there and moved to third man, and Faye managing to move to play the ball out to that for a single. End of Nondumiso's first over. She goes for 8. 31 for without loss at the end of the 5th over in this first power play.
Yeah, starting to look like a very good power play for the Duchesses. Yeah, one of the few ones where they haven't lost a wicket early on.
Another change in bowling we
Have a
moving
Vodia
into.
Yekile.
Yeah, the spin twins.
Yeah, Vodia Yekile taken 2 wickets in each of the games so far, sitting on 4 overall, which is pretty high up in those wicket standings. She's also a member of the emerging side and has taken 4 wickets in 4 matches there.
And so far, Evodia in this tournament has taken 2 wickets.
4 wickets, I think.
4 wickets, 2
in
and
each
2,
match,
yes, yeah. And so she'll be hoping to take a lot more today. That ball turning nicely into the right-handed Faye Tunnicliffe, who plays it off the back foot. 5 fielders on the offside in the ring. Third man, back at point, extra cover and mid-off. You have mid-wicket on the boundary, square leg in the ring, fine leg in the ring, and long on. Here, Captain Laura Goodall, just underneath our commentary box. Good ball again from Yekile. Great length there, forcing Faye to play on the back foot. Ball turning into Faye, making it a little bit harder for her to try and look for a single. That one was just too full, and it is out to the fielder at long on for a single.
Yeah, almost a mystery spinner, Vodia Yekile. She can bowl a bit of wrist spin and a bit of finger spin.
Yes, and that's what makes her an intriguing prospect in the draft. You know, batters wouldn't necessarily know what ball she's going to bowl
Right.
next. You'd have to watch it coming out of the hand, and it's a great moment to learn at this level, to be able to pick this. Oh, that's a great ball there, just standing up to Gandhi Jafta. Length was there for the pull, and it was slightly quicker than Gandhi anticipated there, and just ended up being just a dot ball.
Yeah, good delivery. Gandhi Jafta laughing a bit to herself and to her partner there. As that one's more flighted, foolish delivery, was Jafta does get away, just driven no further than the circle, and they go through for a single.
Yes, final ball in the power play over. Then we'll get James to come and join Chris to take you through the middle overs in this match.
Oh,
In the air and past a diving Masabata class of 4. a 4. She tried her best, but she couldn't get close to that ball.
yeah, and a bit of theatrics now. She's laying on the ground for a good long while after that. Duchesses definitely the pick of their power play so far. This is the strongest start that they've got off to. They'll be very pleased that they've managed to survive it without losing any wickets. 37 for no loss at the end of that.
And thanks, Paul, and thanks, Chris. Good to be back with you all today for the third and final day of the Women's Super League. And Duchesses, as you say, getting a good start here, not losing a wicket.
Yeah, it's a bit of a change of pace for them. Yeah, the one side who still hasn't managed to eke out in victory, so that's definitely what they'll be looking for today. And now they're able to set a total. Yesterday they were chasing a large total, which I think put them under quite a bit of pressure.
Did, and previous day as well, chasing that 132 that the Coronations put up, coming only 6 runs short with that great innings from Sine Luce. And as you said, the top run scorer, a few runs ahead of Laura Wolfart at the moment.
Shangase comes in again, and this one's up in the air,
my
but
goodness.
lands in a gap, and there's no run there. So that may have been as much motivation for them opting to bat as anything
Yeah.
else. The fact that they've had to chase 2 matches in a row, put
Yeah.
under pressure both times.
And I think it's been noticeable with the Starlights. They have actually batted first. I think did they bat first or second yesterday? I must just check on that.
It's Shangase in again, and Jafta tries a little sneaky little dab down to third man, doesn't get bat onto it.
So Starlights having batted first in both of their matches so far, having put up the Sorry, they didn't bat first in the first game.
No.
They batted
Yeah,
second in the first
against
game
the
against the
Thistles.
Thistles, where they were 89 for 9 at the close. But yesterday, putting up a very good total against the Coronations, the defending champions, who we will see later on today against the Thistles. So yeah, very good start, 38. In the 7th over, just dropped off slightly since the spinners have come on.
They managed a few against, just 6 runs off the Yukila over Shanghai, so it was slightly expensive in the first, bringing it back here so far.
And noticeable that these two batters are a lot stronger on the leg side. They like it short on the leg side. And, nice fielding there from Cushy Mystery in the cover. So
back in the side, and will be one of the other spin options. She did bowl in the first game, just managed the 1 wicket and was a little bit expensive, but then also managed to top score later in the innings.
I thought for a youngster, very impressive what she's been able to achieve from a spin point of view to date. And another single, which has been another good feature of this Duchesses innings so far. Maybe a couple that were a bit touch and go from a running point of view, but certainly Gandhi Jafta has been very keen to take the quick singles to the fielders on the edge of the circle, which is a feature we haven't necessarily seen a huge amount of, putting the fielders under a lot of pressure.
I feel like we've seen that improve over the whole contest. More and more singles been taken.
Only the first day was rather more that the singles weren't being taken, they weren't taking on the fielders, and we've seen, as you're right, Chris, we've seen that a lot more as the tournament has progressed. Could have been quite a bit of rustiness from the batter point of view, not having played much cricket of late, a lot of these players. Yakila again from the Weinberg end. That's nicely played by Faye Tunnicliffe, and that's an easy single to the deep mid wicket, who's Andrew Steyn, on the boundary. So 4 fielders on the boundary, experienced fielders. That is, got the sweep out to that one. A shot we saw quite a bit yesterday, which wasn't necessarily to great effect in some of the instances. That goes down to Mystery again, now at that short fine leg position. Kila again, and that one is looks very close, and she's got a.
So Yakila picks up her 5th in the contest. She moves into third place overall, just behind Benetti and Klaas, who are both sitting on 6 wickets, but 5 wickets so far from Yakila. She's been very consistent and it is genuine mystery spin where you don't know which way it's going to go. Almost often just pushed out the front of the hand.
Yes, and that she seems to be mixing them up quite a lot, Chris, and we hoping that we'll be able to have a look at that one again and give you an idea of exactly what happened off the pitch. But
so in the end, Gandhi Jafta 16 runs of 21 deliveries with 2 boundaries in the innings.
So here we're having a look at that again, and that one, the one is just drifting on with the arm, going into the right-hander, not going away, and just not getting to the pitch of the ball to that one. Trying that sweep shot again, which has really not been a percentage shot for anybody yesterday and today. Yeah, just like a carom ball. She's
but without the fingers sticking out.
Yeah. So very interesting, and that one did look a good decision by the umpire, and so it is indeed Sine Lees who has come to the crease, premier batter for the Duchesses.
And she's off the mark very quickly, willing to take the attack to the bowlers. Plays it out to her opposing captain Laura Goodall at long arm.
Yeah, that's be nice to see Yakila from a consistency point of view being able to put it sort of on the spot where she did create that confusion for Gandhi Jafta, where it came in, and off that length it's more difficult to pick. Another one where she's pitched that up nicely. There will be only 1 ball left in this over, which has been a successful one for the Starlights, having taken the first wicket. The Duchesses having a good opening partnership of 40. You can't bowl there to Sine Lees. A misfield is going to mean that they're going to come back for the second, and good running, good calling between these two, Lease and Tunnicliffe, and they will be keen to continue the good run rate they've achieved so far, and perhaps even accelerate with Sine Lease there at the crease.
And now decisions for Laura Goodall. We'll see if they continue Shangasa, if they bring. It does look like that's the case. Of course, they do also have Kuchi Mystery as another spin option. One of the others, we saw them use Lee Jones as a seaman at both of the previous games, but she's out for this fixture.
So I'm sure that we'll see Christine Tomlinson, and she had a reasonably good game yesterday for the Starlights, bowling from the Weinberg end.
In 2 overs,
So she looked quite impressive. Young Leah Jones, as you say, taking a bit of a break today, and it's going to be Tunnicliffe to face Shangase. Playing that one again off the pitch, it's been quite interesting to see how they've played the spinners, Chris, over the last couple of days. That one again, to Mystery again in the covers, but it's almost they're playing it off the pitch. We were making some comments about that yesterday with Colin Bryden.
Yesterday, we got to see Jade Figueiredo bowl some really tempting deliveries to the Duchesses batters, and a few of them fell for it, because you see that one sitting in the air for almost minutes, it seems. You want it as far as you can. So she managed to pick up 3 yesterday. It
was certainly, if one had picked who was going to take wickets for the Thistles yesterday, one certainly would not have necessarily picked Nombolemko, Banetti and Jade de Figueiredo.
And that's nothing against them. They're just playing in a very strong bowling lineup with international experienced players around.
It's really good. It's a bit too short, and Sine Lease is going to be able to knock those down the ground for singles every day of the week. Laura Goodall, the captain, out on the boundary. Andre Steyn taking a very good catch on the boundary for the Starlights yesterday to get rid of Laura Wolfart, and possibly that was the nail in the coffin of the coronations yesterday, unfortunately, just ending up 2 runs short.
And Goodall herself took a couple of good catches on the boundary against the Thistles on day 1.
Yeah, the catching generally off the high ball, I've been very impressed with it. I mean, yesterday I think both you and I had our hearts in our mouths when the one went up, and Courtney Gowden was underneath it, and wasn't quite set for it, but she did take the catch in the end. Yeah, that's well played.
Lovely sweep shot from Sine Lease. There is the fielder there.
Yeah. So that was really well executed sweep shot, and if you can play the sweep and you're confident enough to play the sweep, then it can be a go-to shot for you against the spinner. You've got to have that experience though to be able to do that. 48 for 1 after 9, and so batting at 5.3 and over, and they'll want to increase that as they go into the next 10. So nearly up to 10 overs. Hopefully they just over 50, score between 50 and 60 that they should have. So it will be Evodia Yakile again from the Weinberg end into her 3rd over. That one is a ball just very nicely short of a length, but once again Sine Lease showing her experience, waiting for it and taking the single rotation strike. Really has been very good between both Gandhi Jafta and Faye Tunnicliffe, and now immediately between Sine Lease and Faye as well. Very Kile yet again. Oh, that one. Faye Tunnicliffe will be a bit upset with herself there that she wasn't able to put that one away, Chris. That backward sort of the short third man is quite wide there. There's the gap. Play finer than that, which it was wide enough to play it fine, or to get it through the gap between Lizelle Lee and who's there at backward point. Maybe it's short third man. We'll have to see. Must have got a class here in front of us at long off, does the fielding, and that's the 50 for the Duchesses. The 50 coming off.
Yeah, 59 deliveries with 6 boundaries so far, all of them fours.
And it has been noticeable that that 50 with just the 6 boundaries percentage of boundaries not as high as we have seen in some of the other matches so far.
And not a lot of extras either, which is a testament to how they've managed to rotate the strike so far. Just 2 extras in the innings.
I seem to remember just the one wide that we saw early on.
I think we saw 1 wide from Klaas and 1 from Tatum.
That's right, that's correct, yeah. There's plenty of singles on offer for these 2 batters, and they are taking those, but they'll want to just consolidate the innings here, Lees and Tunnicliffe, and look to remain at the crease until at least the last 5 overs. Oh, nice shot.
Flighter delivery as well, but patient on it is Lees, and she plays it to Masabata Klaas yet again.
Yeah, lovely cricket. That's the sort of thing you really will want to see. Nice flighted ball from the leg break bowler, and played down the ground. Nice fielding from Masabata Klaas in front of us. Some international experience showing here with the international players for the Starlights. Masabata Klaas bowling well in the tournament so far.
As we see Christine Tomlinson start to make her mark here.
Yeah, there we go. So as we expected, Tomlinson will be bowling. Yesterday she bowled most of her, I think all her overs in fact, from the Weinberg end.
Yeah, but just 2 overs that she did bowl. Western Province home girl. She's played Western Province age levels all the way through, and took 4 wickets at last year's WSL. Just managed the 1 wicket yesterday in her 2 overs.
And getting the chance, yesterday this is only her 2nd match, missing out on the first match on Monday for the Starlights, and she'll be hoping that she can get one of these big wickets. These 2, probably the premier batters for the Duchesses, and Lees on strike to Christine Tomlinson. Oh, it's well bowled, and played as nicely down the ground, and just seems a bit of a quieter period. They're keeping the scoreboard ticking along though, Chris, at the moment. 5 off the last over, and just a single off the first ball of this one. Lees though 9 off only 8 deliveries. Faye Tunnicliffe 27 off 32. And that could be just bouncing short.
Waiting for the signal from the umpire, but
umpire, not sure, waiting.
Very close to the boundary there. I was about to say, you do need to choose one of the bowlers. Yeah, it is 6 runs.
It is indeed 6 runs. Well done there to Faye Tunnicliffe. She now essentially moved to a runner ball with that 6, just hitting the rope, as we can see on the replay, just hitting that rope. And it's going to be Tomlinson again.
Tomlinson's the bowler that they may target in these middle overs.
Indeed, they have done, and that's beautifully played with there being no fine leg. A position that I found quite interesting yesterday, that there was, again, no fine leg for quite a lot of the innings. I'm trying to think which game it was, the second game. The ring field on the leg side, with only having the square leg in position,
right.
And expecting the bowler to keep it tight on the offside. And the same thing happening here. That has prompted a fielding change for Christine Tomlinson. Now is a short, fine leg in Evodio Yekile.
Ooh, just slightly mistimed there from Tunnicliffe. One senses, they are going to continue targeting Tomlinson. Yeah. That one not quite off the square there.
So, this has been a big over so far, 12 off it, with the 4 balls gone so far in the over. That's 6 and 4 from Faye Tunnicliffe, pushing her into 38 off not as many deliveries. It was a nice play again by Lees, just knocking it around. Chris, there hadn't really been a feature of the batters being able to get that ball into the gaps or to be able to get it to the deep fielders for a lot of the matches we've seen. Certainly more the inexperienced batters though.
Right. And another aggressive shot from Tunnicliffe. This one falls just short of the long on fielder as they go through for a single.
And that's the double-hatted captain, Laura Goodall.
Double captain again. And lots of jokes like that. As we may see, we've still got former temporary classes, permanent Masabata class bowled it too earlier, and the mystery spinner, the cushy mystery spinner.
And we may well be seeing her soon, I would think. Maybe the Evodio Yekile will bowl out her 4 overs, and in fact that is going to be the case from the Weinberg end, as Captain Goodall who makes her way from long on the in front of the new building, the Kelvin Grove Inn, makes her way all the way to long on down this end of the Wamberg end.
That's captaincy for you. I do like this decision to carry on bowling Yukile. She's looked very threatening
She has.
so far.
So field placing to the right-handed Tunnicliffe we'll give you as soon as this ball is over. So we have a short third man, there's a point fielder, there's a deep cover, shortish extra cover, and a long on, deep mid wicket, square leg, and a short fine leg to the leg spinner. It's too short. Tunnicliffe not able to punish that one, but they'll take the single any day. Interesting that they've brought the field in on the offside for Sine Lease, but they've dropped the square leg onto the boundary.
Right. We've seen brilliant sweep shots from her so far in the competition and throughout her career, so we'll want as much cover there as they can have against the spinner as she gets on the back foot, but this one played into the offside to the long off fielder Masabata class.
With that shot sort of ready to apply, oh my
And
goodness, going to be
overthrows
overthrows. That is some sloppy cricket there, unfortunately, from the Starlights. Gives Sine Lease a chance to get back on strike, which she'll be really happy about, but certainly not the Starlights fielders there. Yukile perhaps a bit guilty of being a bit lax behind the stumps. Not a good throw, that one must say. Yeah, I think that was probably the type of shot Sine Lease was looking for the previous delivery as well, and she played it straighter to mid-off, or long off. Now she's played it to long on.
Right. And we see fielding changes as the strike changes, the square leg comes in, and now there's a sweeper on the offside boundary for Faye Tunnicliffe. So that sweep shot's still open and available for Tunnicliffe as she gets on the back foot and just plays it straight back down the ground, where it's picked up by the captain Laura Goodall for just a single.
I mean, Gandhi Jafta played the sweep shot a number of times. Faye Tunnicliffe, perhaps once or twice only that I can remember seeing. She hasn't been really down on the sweep. Sine Lease, as you said, Chris, favours that shot significantly, and she's on strike now.
Yeah, they're happy to just rotate the strike, play it to the deep fielders for singles.
Really enjoy seeing the leg spinner give it flight. It's something that Sine Lease herself, as a leg spinner, is particularly with the standard leg break, she really gives it a lot of flight. Get it above the eye line of the batter and get that dip and that drift, and that's been part of the success that certainly Sine Lease has had.
I do hope that we get to see 4 overs from her today, because she left herself just a little bit late yesterday and was only able to get 2 overs out, as we see Cushy Mystery join the attack, as we thought may be the case. After Tomlinson was taken apart a little bit, you think you may bring her back later, but you don't want to devolve 2 consecutive overs now.
And one sense is that Sine Lease, who is on strike to Cushy Mystery, will also try and target the young off-break bowler. It's going to be interesting to see this contest. Young up-and-coming Limpopo player against one of the premier players for South Africa.
This one's very flighted and tempting. Sine Lease knows better than to play it in the air, at least for now. And it goes all along the ground, all the way to the long-on fielder, Laura Goodall.
A good start from Cushy Mystery, and I'm hoping that she is able to sort of stick with this and keep going with her spin bowling. I liked it a little bit as she got some rotation on that front foot as she comes into bowl. She's going to need to develop that. I see Shangasi's rotation very nice on that front foot, and certainly Nondamiso Shangase has improved tremendously since we saw her last year, early last year with the Pakistan tour. A lot more consistent.
We saw a little bit of consultation there. Lizal Lee speaking to Mystery. Lizal Lee will be pretty familiar with both of the batters on strike at the moment, as this one again is very flighted and dropped unfortunately.
I think that is dropped. We'll
see Henry Krobler had a few grabs at that. These are the 2 players brought back into the side, Mystery and Krobler. Krobler had a very good game on the first day of taking a brilliant catch. A little bit unlucky here.
So that one just bobbling up, she just could not get it on the rebound. Both of these batters now batting at more than a run a ball.
Again, very tempting and
that
flighted.
one may well be a no ball. Let's see. umpire
I think
signal.
it's-
In fact, it is a no ball, above waist height, full toss. That one just slipping out of the hand.
So-
Mystery.
We've seen different approaches to the no ball so far. One would imagine Tunnicliffe,
I should have
although
full go one.
loaded leg side field, we'll see exactly what she does with this. Very flighted, and,
And she takes it on, and she is going to get...
dropped
okay.
on the boundary,
Yeah.
but that doesn't really make
No,
a
it doesn't
difference
matter.
at all.
The most important thing from that delivery is that there was only the one run. I think that's Masabata class on the boundary there. Again, she had to make sure that it didn't go over the boundary.
Yeah,
first
that's
and
the
foremost.
most important thing. The catch far less important than just keeping it in.
And the Duchesses, courtesy of that big over of Tomlinson, now batting at more than a run a ball for the innings. That's a lovely flight from Cushy Mystery. I'm enjoying this, that she's really giving it air, even to batters of the quality of Sine Luce and
Yeah.
Faye Tunnicliffe.
And the other consequence of that Tomlinson over was we saw Tunnicliffe very rapidly make her way into the 40s. And
It's been a good innings so far from Faye Tunnicliffe. She's facing again now, and that's nicely driven. And it was a good stop there in the cover. That Shangazi, I think, there at extra cover.
And this
I'll have a look
is
now.
exactly the sort of bowling we saw being effective against the Duchesses yesterday. This very flighted, tempting bowling. So I do enjoy this from Cushy Mystery. This one a little bit flatter, more of a dart. The change-up has flummoxed
Yeah.
Sine Lease there.
Very nice. I like that. The movement on the front foot and the way she's bringing that through the back foot. As we say goodbye to Chris for the moment. This innings, thanks, Chris, and hello to him, Paul.
Hi,
He's,
gents.
resplendent in his shirt of the team that he supports in the
Yes.
English Premier League.
I decided to wear the shirt that best describes how I feel about my football club. It's very bloody right now.
Yeah.
You were not wearing a Chelsea shirt.
Yeah.
Yes, so that would have been quite apt, I suppose, being an Arsenal fan, to wear a Chelsea shirt today, having lost last night to Wolves. So
Just in
but,
support
yeah.
of them.
So change of bowling at the Weinberg end, and it's going to be Nondumiso Shangase who's going to be finishing her spell, having bowled the 3 overs for 14. She's been pretty impressive today, Paul.
Yeah, she has. And now she's got a square leg on the boundary, mid wicket, long on and long off. 3 fielders on the offside in the ring. That's a
yeah.
fuller ball.
Yeah. Good first delivery from Shangase on the spot, and it brings that long on that Paul was talking about into play. Laura Goodall, who's been at that position virtually the entire match so far.
She's been darting them in a lot into the batters. I'd like to see her just
Yeah,
bring
loop
just
it a
play
bit.
that just a little bit outside on that off stump line and just give it a little bit of air.
That's nice. That's
There we
been
go.
out there, and that one, Laura Goodall brought into action again here, right in front of us, and just does the fielding without any worries at all. Sine Luce, one's thinking perhaps will bring out the sweep shot against Shangasi if she gets the opportunity, but only 4 balls left in her spell.
That's too short.
Yeah, that's should have been punished. And
Great
isn't.
fielding from Cushy
Yeah,
Mystery
very
behind
good. Really good.
at 45. Really good, preventing 3 further runs there, and it's just a single.
She made some very good ground there, and diving managed to stop. I thought it looked like it was past her, but really well done, helping her fellow spinner to keep the run rate down. It's a nice shot. Not a bad ball either, really.
And
Yeah.
great fielding.
Yeah, Andre Steyn down here on the mid-wicket boundary,
a lot
and experienced fielders that the Starlights have on the
Yeah,
boundaries.
quick
there.
pick up and throw. That's what you want to teach, and as a coach, always make sure that
Absolutely.
you keep the batters honest in their
Yeah,
running.
attack that ball. This one may well go. They may well turn for 2. No, they don't. They're not going to take on Tatum LaRue's arm as she runs around from a square leg to a pick-up. And 1 ball left in the over, which so far I think
Runnable.
has only gone for 5. Yes, 5 singles off the over. And that, I think
Something
both teams
Laura
won't
would
be
be-
unhappy with that.
Yeah, but I think the bowling team will be very happy.
Much
with this
happier,
return.
yes.
Just she just needs to. Nondumisa just needs a good one.
Got to finish
This
it.
last one. Finish
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. And that one is just airborne for a little while. But and she does finish strong with that single, and hoping we're going to see Kushi Mystery have the next over from the Kelvin Grove end. I was really impressed with her in the first over again, and her first outing on Monday. She also looked like a good prospect.
Yes, she's a very good prospect, and someone that I think in the women's game needs to be groomed and provided with a lot of support. As she is probably one of the more exciting young prospects coming up. She is the rookie in the side, and is enjoying her moment. She comes from a province that not traditionally is a cricketing province in Limpopo. So we just, still at Marinsky High in Sanin. So just it's really great that we have tournaments like this that can showcase someone like Kushi Mystery.
On the Kelvin Grove end at 6-gun Girl Newlands. Oh, lovely flight again. Oh, that's actually a very good half stop in the covers by Nicole de Klerk.
That was just too full. She let it hang in the air a little bit too much. I think one thing you could probably tell her is that it doesn't have to loop. It just needs to probably go at a flatter trajectory. Still try give it a little bit of air, but not too loopy.
Get that above the bowler's eye. That one a lot flatter. And just helped away to Masabata Class on the deep mid-wicket boundary. And it's Faye Tunnicliffe on 46, who is one stroke away from another 50 in this tournament. And so far, we've had close to a 50 in every game, I think, that we've seen so far. And this may well be a repeat of that. That was... much better,
and taking the run off the misfield there. Great presence of mind from Faye Tunnicliffe to call Sunelis in. She was running to the danger end.
Slight bit of hesitation, but fortunately for them, Evodia Yakile not able to get that in to the bowler's end. Only 3 extras so far, Paul. Really impressive. Oh, not that time though.
Just down the leg side and well helped on its way by Sune for 4 to that fine leg region.
And that will bring up the 50 partnership for this pair. 52 runs, 4s, and that 1-6 that just hit the rope from Faye Tunnicliffe. So this has been a great partnership for them. It was a good shot, wasn't it? It was a very good shot.
It's I think the Duchesses will find themselves very frustrated right now with the way that they're batting in the final game of WSL.
Absolutely. And that's also very well played, but great fielding by Shangasi, I think that is, at extra cover, diving to her left on the square, and she's probably hurt herself there.
Great cricket all around, great shot,
very good shot.
And great fielding from Nondu Misud at mid-off.
So 3 extras, 1 no ball, which was the high one from, I think, I'm sure it's Tomlinson, I think it was. And this one again is around the corner. It's a long run for Tatum LaRue, but she's going to get there, and they will be able to come back easily for the second.
Yes, I think great. I think the line that Kushimishu was bowling is more middle stumpish, and it kind of just drifted towards the leg side, and Sinelis made sure that she could find that vacant. Fine leg is a lot squarer.
Yes,
I'd
very
like
more like a long leg. Tatum LaRue more to long leg.
She would need it to be a little bit straighter to cover that, and those 2 4s that happened to work on the leg side wouldn't have probably would have saved a few more runs there. But
5 overs to go, and Paul 94 for 1. We've seen some of the teams this week lose their way a little bit as they get to the last 5, lose some wickets, not perhaps maximise the opportunity. Hopefully for the Duchesses today, they'll be able to run along at about 10 and over for the last 5, get them to a good total.
Thanks, Joanne. I think a lot of the teams yesterday were around about 90 for 1, around a ball at the 15th over, and it now's the moment where you'll see the value in the Starlights bowling attack to close out in the death. You've got Masabata Class on 2 overs. Tatum Lou left on 2. So Christine Tomlinson will be bowling this one, and then Laura Goodall will revert to her pace. Her paces there in Class and LaRue.
So that's just very much a military medium pace from Christine Tomlinson. That one probably on a goodish length outside the off stump, and that sweeper on the cover boundary is there for precisely that shot. Faye Tunnicliffe
Big single
moved to
taken there
48, and that's been a good innings from her yesterday, going out first ball run out, so real tragedy for her. Ooh.
Beautiful ball. Looking for that cut there.
Yeah.
Sine Lisa was too close to cut.
And Sine Luce is looking for that cut because there is no third man, and that is about to be changed now. Cushy Mystery moving around to the short third man
You really
position.
can't put everyone.
Yeah,
You can't have
And
everyone.
now she's taken
in her
away
spots.
the fine leg. Taken away the fine leg and short fine leg, put it into the offside. Christine Tomlinson's going to have to keep this one outside the off stump.
And she does not.
Oh, no. Well, she did, but it was clearly Sine Luce knew that was going to happen, and that's a clever shot from
Very,
the
very
South African player.
good shot from Sine Luce, understanding where the gaps are in the field, and with that movement of Cushy Mystery across to the offside, it brings that opportunity. But that ball from Christy Tomlinson needed to still be the fifth stump line, because Sine was looking to play it down the leg side. She just it just straight in to that right hander.
Just a little bit too short from that. But again, if she overcompensates, she's worried she's going to get hit through the offside.
But you've got the two fielders here, so you need to bowl fuller.
She needs to bowl a bit fuller. She's got the mid off, long off, and she's got that may be a wide. No. Quite lucky there not to be called for a wide.
A little bit more pace on that one, which is something you also want to see there. To help them, to try and give the batsman something else to worry about, slightly quicker, wider, hoping that she can bowl it a lot fuller now.
And that one is very wide, and trying to keep Sine Luce quiet, trying to get that wider and wider, still within the red line there, and the 100 comes up for the Duchesses here at 6 Gun Grill Newlands. 100 off 98 balls, 9 fours, and that 1-6 which we have described to you from Faye Tunnicliffe, and they'll be happy with that score with 4.2 overs to go.
That's the fuller ball we were looking for, and it's played out to the field at long on. She just lost a little bit of form in that wide ball that she bowled previously, just at the release point. At that release point, she just lost it a little bit then, and it resulted in the ball going wide.
It has been a much better over than her first over, which went for 14, and Sine Luce lofts this over. Sorry, Faye Tunnicliffe lofts it over Evodi Akila's head. Masabata class cleans up on that deep cover boundary, and Faye goes to 49.
End of the 16th over, 102 for 1. This partnership is worth 62. This is the foundation Martinez Fundamava was looking for in the first 2 games. Getting it in that last one, slightly frustrating with this young team, but they have something to build on, and can have the ability to get too close to 150. The highest score in WSL so far is 148 by the Thistles. And their innings kind of petered out.
It did. I mean, at one stage looked like 150 to 160 was a possibility. Here, I would think if they would be looking at 140 minimum here with Sine Luce and Faye Tunnicliffe at the crease. Faye Tunnicliffe just one short of what will be a well-deserved 50. Having yesterday only faced the one delivery.
So Masabata class coming in for her first over in the death overs.
She's coming in from the Kelvin Grove end, and that will be the single to take Faye Tunnicliffe to her 50. And well played, Faye Tunnicliffe.
Runner ball 50.
Runner ball 50, exactly a runner ball 50, and Paul, as you say. Well played to the Western Province batter.
Yes,
batsman,
batter. She really has. She did struggle yesterday, but to add to her 28 on day 1, she's got 50, which is something that you also want as well. Half centuries in this T20 format are just as good as centuries.
Oh, that's really well played by Sine Luce. There is that protection with the double capped Laura Goodall at long on, which seems to be her preferred position. She did take 2 very good catches there, high catches.
Ball
on
swinging
Monday.
into the right-handed batters there from Masabata class, making it a little easier for Faye and Sune to play it down the leg side, looking for gaps. There's a large area where you can find singles and twos.
And that one is that is the catch for Laura Goodall, and she comes forward. Does she take the catch?
No, it's
unfortunately
dropped.
not. Oh my goodness! It
Great
looked
attempt
it was.
from the 2-capped captain Laura Goodall there at long on, just dying in front of her there, and great attempt nonetheless. Great fielding attempt to prevent a further runs.
Yes, that was not an easy chance. Actually taken it, I reckon, catch of the tournament so far. It's really well played by Tunnicliffe. That will race away to the boundary. Bit of overcompensation from Masabata class, and that's not what you expect from her, really.
Soft hands, just put the bat there, let the pace run off of it. Really great show of power and touch in those last 2 balls.
Lovely, lovely stuff. It's 8 off the over so far with 2 balls still to come, and this is exactly what the Duchesses would have been looking for. And umpires Cluster and Lowe have been reasonably impressive in this game so far.
Yes, they have. Short ball from Masabata. One bounce to the fielder at a square leg. Had Faye hit that a little bit harder, that would have been a really great catch on the boundary for Tatum LaRue.
So the field, as we have seen throughout this tournament, when it comes to the death overs on the leg side, has been very much like this: a short, fine leg, deep square, deep mid-wicket, and long on.
So far, 9 off this over from Masabata.
Oh, my word.
And it will go over the inner ring, down to the point boundary. Great save by Nicole de Klerk there, and it's just 2 runs to end that over. It will be 10 off that over, taking the score to 113 for 1.
Really sort of wind-up shot there from Sine Luce, inside out,
Didn't
going
get
over.
the timing
Didn't quite
there.
get it, did she? No. Otherwise, that probably would have raced away to the boundary, and as it did, it was caught by Nicole de Klerk. Probably 30 centimetres from the boundary, as we see her running towards the oaks here, which are populated by one person lying down under the scoreboard.
And the DJ.
And the DJ.
Who's been keeping us entertained.
Indeed, and it's a pretty good choice of music as well, I must say.
And we've also got some spectators from the construction side across there
We have indeed,
enjoying the cricket that's been on show. They've been watching certain moments while they're putting up the glass for this, I'm assuming would be an office park.
It is a multi-purpose centre that they're building there. There are some offices, there are sports facilities. Going to be it was originally going to be an education facility in there as well. So it is a multi-use building, and
I wouldn't mind
bringing in
watching the
some
cricket there.
revenue. No, absolutely.
Interesting enough, I think a lot of the cricketers who play here would want to possibly see if they can't break the glass there at the centre that has been put up. Misfield there, and a single taken. Great ball from Tatum LaRue. Stopped well by Shangase at extra cover. Just her shy at the stumps, had no one backing up, and that's been the problem about, I think, the WSL across all the teams. No one backs up at the non-strikers end.
We've seen very little. We saw, I think, once or twice yesterday some good backing up, but in this instance, not what we had expected. And one feels perhaps she didn't need to go for the run out, but at this stage, if they can get a wicket, it would be fantastic.
Down the leg side, Tatum LaRue, and dispatched over the square leg boundary by Sine Luce.
That's
for a one bounce.
Yes. Looked like for all love and money that it was going to be 6 there.
Lost it in the haze there, but great shot from Sine Luce. Bad ball from Tatum LaRue.
Yeah, half tracker from Tatum LaRue, and Sine Luce is going to thank you for those all day. 118 for 1 now, as we have a slight delay while they get got the ball, and who is that? It's Andrew Stain that went and received that. We have Zell Lee at square leg, and we've got only a slightly different field here for Tatum LaRue.
Tatum showing us that she could too can play a football as well with that stop with the foot.
So yes, a good stop doesn't prevent the single. 119 for one. The Duchesses looking like they're going to certainly surpass their highest score of the tournament so far.
Comes down the wicket. There's a fielder at long on. Dropped by that is Masabata Class there. Oh, what an opportunity! What a chance, Connor begging. But her captain goes and congratulates her for the effort. A single taken off of that ball, but what a chance!
What I mean. That ball was hit with some juice from
her hands. She's wringing out her hands there. Masabata Class.
She'll be okay to bowl. She's still got the 1 over left that she's going to need to bowl from the Kelvin Grove end. And Tunnicliffe again striking the ball very, very nicely. And this time it is Laura Goodall, the captain.
What's very impressive, James, by these two is that their ability to be able to switch it up, to change the gears as they move on.
Very much so.
And that's one of the reasons why they're in the Proteas setup and Faye there and thereabouts. The versatility in the batting. Look at that shot over the top.
From Sinead Luce, and just goes over the head of. Who's that chasing after that one?
That is Evodia.
Yakila, and down to the backward point boundary for another boundary. 4 runs, 126 for one. Are the Duchesses looking 140, looking like a very, very distinct possibility now. This equals their highest score of the tournament so far. 126 against the Coronations on day one.
In a chasing, with them chasing. Interesting enough, the team that's won the toss and chosen to bat first has won all 4 games in the WSL. So the toss is quite important.
It is important.
And the other thing is obviously the pressure of the chase with the runs on the board does add a little bit more and rushes the batters of the chasing side.
It certainly puts a lot of pressure. We've seen pressure really play
even
a
with that
role.
low score that the Thistles set of 100. The Starlights really struggled there.
That one,
beautiful flick down the leg side. Just the one there, but looking to try that helicopter shot through the legs did Faye Tunnicliffe.
So now Lisa is showing, sort of practicing that shot now at the striker's end. But Evodia Yakila nearly getting caught up by the spin there on that ball and just managed to get a hand down on it, fortunately.
Yes. Masabata coming in for her in her second ball in the final.
Nice
another helicopter flick down the leg side. She practiced that.
A great shot.
It's a four.
She did indeed. In fact, it was a great shot though, finding the gap between
mid-wicket and square leg.
Yeah, Tatum LaRue is doing a lot of fetching at the moment.
What Faye can do, I can do better. That's what Sydney's trying to do.
I won't start singing now. So into the 130s, and Sinead Luce has moved very rapidly to 49, and she's on strike. 49 off only 33 balls. What an innings.
That'll be a second
50,
half century in WSL 3.0.
And that will be it.
There it is. Very easy from Sinead, just banking the half century in, nothing risky.
And no doubt now she'll raise her bat to the dugout, which she does. And great innings once again from Sinead Luce. She has held this team together. And one feels with the 2 losses they've had so far, the key wicket was her wicket. In the first game, it looked as if that with her at the crease, they would have chased down that 132, and just very unfortunately falling 6 runs short.
Can they post the highest score in WSL 3.0?
Looks like that is out the park. That is out the park from Faye Tunnicliffe.
In the arc,
a shot.
Out the park.
Yeah.
It was just in the slot there. It was a slow ball that was just picked up very easily, and Faye just got a bat underneath that, and really great 6 there. 138 for one.
So Sinead Luce is 50 off 34 balls with 5 fours.
12 off this over, 2 to go.
Yeah, it's a big over. Just
much better ball there. Finding that length is Masabata Class, and just getting that single out to mid-wicket.
Andre Stein on that occasion able to field that one on the ground. The one before, she watched it sail right over her head.
The tricks in the book right now, Sinead Luce.
Well, there we go. My goodness, we were talking whether they get into 140s, and it's 143 with 1 over to come. And Tatum LaRue is going to
That
struggle
over,
against these
going
two.
for 17.
Off Masabata class.
Yes.
My goodness.
And
that's
that
100 partnership.
ends Masabata's
My goodness. Yeah.
participation with the ball
Yeah.
in the WSL 3.0. No wickets this time around, so
no,
that she'll end her total wicket tally at 6 wickets. So that means Banetti still in with a shot. She's on 6th, and she'll be bowling in the second match. And Ayabonga Kaka is on 4 right now. So a lot of people in the running for the number 1 bowler at WSL 3.0.
So just to give you an idea, that 103 run partnership of only 71 balls, the acceleration's been huge, and Faye Tunnicliffe may well in fact be
big
out
shot.
this time.
What a catch from Laura
Laura
Goodall at long on, and a widest long on. She had to make a lot of ground to her right, but a beautiful way to end a great innings from Faye Tunnicliffe. 69 from Faye off 59 balls. She picked up the scoring, and she leaves her team at 143 for 2 with 5 balls remaining, ending that large partnership that they had of over 100. 103 run partnership between Faye and Sonelis.
So Faye's figures were 69 runs off 60 balls, 6 fours and 2 sixes, both down towards the deep mid-wicket area. And my goodness, wasn't that a great innings after having gone out?
New bat, Sinala Jafta.
Yeah. But it will be Sonelis on strike and Tatum LaRue away from us. And
Inside out cover drive.
Beautiful. Masabata class being very careful not to knock that ball on and give them the chance of 2 there. That's what you want from your experienced players. And
that brings Sinala Jafta to the crease. She's had a couple of 4s in her short stints at the crease of the past 2 days.
One shot yesterday that she played, I think down back with a square on the leg side, very impressive.
Yes.
And she hasn't had much of a chance, really, has she, to show her prowess with the bat.
Gets in line, well done.
Well done, very well done. And that's exactly what her captain would have wanted. Get me on strike, I'm sure Sine said to her.
Working for the cause of the team.
Yeah.
And that's also what you want from the new batsman. Batter coming in with 5 balls to go.
Where's this one going, Paul? Over the covers or over deep mid wicket?
Johan says square leg.
Oh! It's not going anywhere. It's going to take the middle stump out. And she was trying to paddle scoop that over the short fine leg. And Tatum LaRue said, "You missed, I hit."
Yes. And just one too many tricks from Sonelis there. Great innings from her. 55 of 37 balls.
Wow.
A lot of tricks in the book. She scored all around the wicket. The only place she actually didn't score was down on the in mid wicket corner area. But a great exhibition of batting from the Premier. She started as the number 1 run scorer in the WSL with 95. She's added 55 more to that total. That brings her to 150 runs in 3 matches.
Fantastic. I mean, first batter to have broken the 100-run mark in the tournament so far, and the strike rate there, probably the best of any batter that's got anywhere near 50, 148. So batting at nearly 9 runs and over, and really it's put the Duchesses in a very strong position. This is going to be a tough
square leg coming in
catch.
for that is Michaela Kirk, who is the new bat. Down the leg side from Tatum LaRue, swept to Kushi Mystery. Tatum LaRue a little disappointed that Michaela got a bat onto that. That was a plum LBW had she missed.
And so that takes the Duchesses to 146. Only 3 of this over from Tatum LaRue. The 2 wickets being the dampener on the scoring rate for the Duchesses here. Both the set batters out. Sinala Jafta will face the last ball. They're going to run come what may, aren't they, on this one?
And she flicks it down the leg side, and the Duchesses get to 150.
They do indeed, and that is exceptionally well played by Sinalo. And that takes them to, I think, a deserved 150. They deserve to get there, the highest score of the tournament. really ably led by Faye Tunnicliffe and Sinead Luce in that partnership of 103. And partnerships are what count in whether it's T20 cricket, whether it's 50 over cricket or test matches. It's really been a fantastic batting display.
Yes, very good batting display indeed, James. And it's a great total for the Starlights chase with the strength at the top.
Yeah.
Laura Goodall, Lizelle Lee, Andrew Steyn. They don't have their opener from yesterday, who got 66, Henry Dirksen, but they've got Kushi Mystery in that middle order, and Nondumiso Shangase as well, who bats at the top. So it's going to be interesting. 151 to win in the final match of the WSL. We've got one later, starting at 12:30. That is the Coronations and the Thistles, but great showing from the Duchesses to remind everyone that they are still around.
Absolutely.
We will be back in a few minutes with the start of the second innings, the chase from the Starlights. Welcome back to Six Gun Grill Newlands for the chase in this fifth match of the Women's Super League hosted by Cricket South Africa, where we're showcasing the best of the best in women's cricket in our beautiful land on this public holiday. That we were told that is an accountant's holiday because it's a day of reconciliation. So hopefully there'll be a lot of reconciling with your friends and your families today in a safe manner while listening and watching us as we bring you the best cricket in South Africa on the women's circuit. If you missed out on the first innings, the Duchesses batted first. They scored 150 on the back of half centuries from Faye Tunnicliffe and Sune Lees. Now
we're going to see
it's a chase with the Duchesses, and starting off the chase is Andre Steyn for the Duchesses, as well for the Starlights, I beg your pardon, as well as Lizelle Lee.
Yeah, familiar partnership. We've seen that in the two previous games. They're going to be coming up against Zintle Mali.
The bowler is Zintle Mali, and she has a stacked offside field. 5 fielders in the ring on the offside, extra cover, cover point, backward point, mid off, as well as the third man. On the leg side is a mid on, mid wicket, and a fine leg. Mid wickets in the ring, fine leg and third man are the fielders outside the ring.
And the stacked offside field makes sense with that ball immediately going down to the third man region. We'll see if the field changes here for Lizelle Lee, slightly more leg side player.
Yes, Lizelle is very powerful on the leg side, but based on this field, Zintle Mali will be required to bowl outside that off-stump line, keep it outside there. Many people think that Lizelle is strong on her legs, but she's also a great driver of the ball
and
on the offside.
Fine legs come up, and there's now a sweeper on the offside, so Zintle Mali definitely needs to keep this on the offside and off the pads of Lizelle Lee.
You can't afford to err by bowling straight.
So far, we haven't seen a Lizelle masterclass, the sort of thing that we're used to. She hasn't managed to get away just yet. If there's a time to do it, it's definitely today when they're chasing 150. Yes,
Chris, I agree with you there. She's only managed 4 runs in the WSL, and I know she wouldn't want to leave the WSL not having gotten into the runs in some way.
And we know that she's capable of much more than that.
Starlights needing 149 to win.
Oh, lovely shot from Lizelle Lee, and just manages to avoid the fielder there on the offside boundary as that runs away for the first boundary of this innings.
Yes, first shot of intent from Lizelle Lee. It was too wide from Zintle Mali. She could free her hands there, and Kelsey Adams as the sweeper not being able to reel that in. Ball going with the spin once it bounced away from Kelsey Adams.
Very confident shot there from Lizelle Lee early in the innings with the sweep on the offside, still happy to go over that ring field.
No team has won a game in WSL 3.0 chasing, so we're just waiting to see if today we will see that. That's a much better ball from Zintle Mali, full and outside that off stump there, just enabling the driver to the extra cover fielder. The other question for the Starlights today in bowling is, when will Sune Lees bowl herself? Yesterday we thought she brought herself on very late. Nice little ball there as well from Zintle Mali. Dot balls are gold in this format of the game. Yes, so like Sune Lees only started bowling the 11th over of the game,
right.
And at that point in time, many felt that the Thistles had already had a stranglehold on the Duchess. Nice little cut from Lizelle Lee rotating the strike, something we want to see in T20s, where you can't, not all the balls can go for boundaries, but the ones that don't, you try and make the most of and get as many runs. End of the first over, 6-4-1. The next bowler at the other end, at the Calvin Grove end, is Michaela Adams. Similar field setting as we get as Sune just organizes her troops there.
Yeah, Michaela Adams, the right-arm fast medium. She's bowled 4 overs in both of the previous games. She's only managed to pick up the 1 wicket so far. She'll be looking to change that. She's part of the National Academy as well.
Yeah, Michaela Andrews. Is it Kelsey Adams?
Oh yeah, Michaela Andrews. I beg your pardon.
Thank you very much, Johan. There, the 2 fielders out are long off for Lizelle Lee, as well as there's a sweeper there at the deep extra cover boundary. A little bit of last minute movements there as Paulina Mashishi is moved from the offside down to square leg. 5-4 offside field there. The Starlights, the Duchesses recognizing the prowess of Lizelle Lee on the leg side. Straighter ball, fuller one, and just gets a single down the ground. Little bit of a breeze coming across the ground at Newlands. Very lovely for the players, I would assume, because it is quite hot.
Yeah, we saw a bit of wind yesterday, but
yeah, she'll be bowling into that breeze. Is Michaela Andrews. Lovely catch, great fielding there from number 15, which would be Nicole de Klerk.
Alyssa X11.
Alyssa X11, yes. Nicole de Klerk is number?
Other team.
Oh, sorry.
So the field is outside the ring at the moment. There's a sweeper on the offside and a field in the third man region. As this one is played to that sweeper on the offside, has to come run in off the boundary as they go through for a single.
Dandy Jafta with the 2 hats on her head, always looking to identify who the 2-hatted player is.
And then if you get a third, it's a hat trick.
It's not a brace right now that she has, but if she gets a third one, it's a hat trick. The fielder at third man is in with the long on going out to the boundary.
Ooh,
Beautiful ball from Michaela Andrews, drawing Lizelle Lee out and nearly getting that edge there. Great keeping from Michaela Cook. If you've been watching the previous 2 games, Sanala Jafta has been the wicketkeeper for the Duchesses. Now it's Michaela Cook giving the youngster from Western Province.
Have 3 realistic wicket-keeping options in the side. Faye Tunnicliffe does also take up the glove sometimes, but they'll want her as a bowling option. Lovely sweep shot there. Beautiful 6. Just the perfect.
The Lizelle Lee show has seemingly started.
And just effortless. It
Yes.
seems like she barely touches it and it just flies over the boundary.
She picked that up, it was very short, and she managed to just ramp sweep that over the fine leg boundary. Really good to see that Lizelle's still got that touch.
Yeah, so she's into double digits in the first time this competition, moves on to 12 out of the total of 14. So that's the sort of intent that we expect from Lizelle Lee.
Mm-hmm. Michaela Andrews closing out this over. Full toss driven straight to the fielder at extra cover, no run. End of that over, 14 without loss.
So far looking positive for the Starlights. We were talking about the fact that it is chasing a massive total like this. It's essential that a player like Lizelle Lee does fire and give them something to build around. So we'll watch very closely as this continues over the next couple of days.
And with a chase, you need to give your team a great platform. You can't rush, and that's why Lizelle Lee is very important to the Starlights team, because of the fact that she's done this many times internationally and for the Proteas. And so
they're missing the other member that would have been a backbone on that side, Chloe Tryon. not part of the side at the moment. She would have offered that other high-scoring option
And
in the
their
middle order.
informed batter in Annemarie Dirksen.
Yeah, that was
who
a-
was the surprise exclusion for us. She scored 66 off 62 balls yesterday, and she hasn't been included. Alyssa Exleben will be bowling the third over of this match.
It's already different to the way
Right
that
arm off spin.
Sinelli's already structuring her bowling setup differently here, immediately going for the first change after just 2 overs.
So line there being what let Exleben down, a little bit of drift in there, and the ball coming down to the leg side of the batter, looking to play down the leg side, but great fielding from Sinalo at backward point at square leg. Nice positive foot movement there, coming down the wicket to Alyssa. The ball is coming out quite slower than what you would normally expect. You'd like Alyssa to just push
Right.
it a little bit further and rush the batsman a little bit too easy for him to
with
stay.
that deep mid wicket and long on, maybe the slow deliveries are trying to tempt the batter into the more aggressive
That's
shots.
too short, and she finds the gap down at a square leg past the diving Sinalo Jafta. Lizelle Lee is on a roll, dealing just in boundaries right now.
Yeah, that was exactly what you want to do with the current field. Although there are 2 fielders on the leg side, there's still an open gap there, down by square leg. Just wait for it.
And as a spinner, you always have to fight the tendency to drag the ball back. And that one, Alyssa just allowed herself to just fall into that trap. Much better ball from Alyssa. Nice little touch from Lizelle Lee. They're going to come back for 2 there. Lizelle showing that she's not just power, but she's also a little bit of touch.
Yeah, and very good running there as well. I think she knew that there was a little bit of the gap at third man, and they were able to either touch that down for 4 or run a few as the point fielder has to chase it.
A little bit too short. Nice line outside the off stump, turning into the right-handed Lizelle Lee. Could only play it off the back foot to point. End of that over. 21 without loss. 7 off of that Exleben over. Will we see another bowling change from Sinellis?
Keep my eyes open.
And Zintle Mali seemingly has that ball. The Duchesses need wickets. Have really struggled to get wickets over the past WS in this WSL, and so they'll be wanting to get in on the action and try and win themselves a game in this WSL. You don't want to go out of the WSL not having won.
Exactly. I think, between the 2 matches, I think a total of just 8 wickets for the Duchesses.
Yes, and the leading wicket
we
taker
do
is
see
the
another
captain.
bowling change, in fact, as Faye Tunnicliffe comes into the attack. Spoke about it being a wicket-keeping option and a bowling option, so good proactive captaincy, I'd say, here from Sinelli's, really rotating through her bowlers, causing the batters to have to adapt.
Bowling by committee. Sharing the load, not giving the batters someone to get used to, always
Exactly.
giving them something different. This time, Faye Tunnicliffe's 2 fielders outside the ring are a deep square leg and a mid wicket who is quite square. There's a fine leg who's now moving to extra cover. That's Sinala Jafta. You've got a third man in the ring, point and cover, and you've got mid wicket in the circle, and mid on and mid off.
And a good, solid delivery to start out. Good pace on the wickets.
Swinging into the right-hander, and Faye Tunnicliffe has, and this is the great thing about Faye. 2018, she is an injury replacement for Trisha Chetty at
Right.
the 2018 T20 World Cup in the Caribbean as a wicketkeeper.
Exactly.
2 years later, in 2020, she's bowling right arm seam at WSL 3.0.
And in between, scoring hundreds. So really can do it all.
Yes, you can. That is amazing to watch. 2 so far 2 dot balls in this over. She'll be looking to for a wicket, and I think that's what Sune is looking for. Yesterday, they really struggled to find wickets. There was that partnership of the partnership between Tabete and Chetty.
Chetty, yeah, right at the beginning, as this one's just guided down the leg
Easy
side. It'll
runs
go
there.
to the fine leg region and run away for 4. That is, the risk when you've got your 2 outfielders aren't behind the wickets and your fast bowler strays down leg. It is going to run away like that.
I think Sune is asking and the captains here have been asking a lot of their fast bowlers, and not even providing them some protection on the leg side for that in line that and with the ball going down to fine leg, as fine as it did in that last one.
Also, quite deep batting from Andrew Steyn. Looking at the replay, that ball was pretty much on off stump, and she still managed to get behind it and guide it down to the fine leg region.
Still need to bowl that 4th, 5th stump line. There we go, bowling to your field there, Faye Tunnicliffe. That 4th, 5th stump line that we're talking about, and that cut from Andrew Steyn not resulting in any runs.
Yeah, picked up by Gabisile Nkosi, who's back in the side today. We'll probably see a bit of a later.
Yes, back in the side for the 14-year-old Mona Lisa Lachodi.
Yeah, Lachodi did bowl well yesterday. She managed to take the 1 wicket, but so someone's going to need to take up those overs, and we may see that being Nkosi.
Another ball going down to fine leg. It will beat the fielder there. 4 runs. Erring in line.
Yeah.
It's a game.
I think
Fine margins there.
Tunnicliffe will feel hard done by there, because it looked like it was a half chance. It wasn't. Andrew Steyn wasn't fully on top of that and managed to get it thick inside edge and get it away for 4.
In Andrew Steyn's benefit, any ball that goes down the leg side has no risk of having a catcher onto it, because the fielders on the leg side, especially square and behind square, are on the boundary.
Right, Michaela Andrews gone a bit finer now for those deliveries that may run away to fine leg.
Much better line, but this one dispatched very nicely, met on the half volley by Andrew Steyn for another 4.
Brilliant chase so far. This is exactly what we want to see, a good contest all the way through. If any, going at 8.3 and over so far.
Good line, just 2-4.
And with all your fielders.
Because you're bowling to your field, you're bowling to the offside. It was just picked up on the half volley, and with the pace that Faye Tunnicliffe is generating, all you need is good timing.
Right.
Andrew Steyn's got that, and resulting in a 4.
As we see more rotation going, as Alex
Paulina
Levens out of the attack.
Zintle Mali.
So Zintle Mali back into the
again.
attack.
Yes, back into the attack. She's only got 2 wickets in this WSL. Rotation from Sunelise. Funny enough, she's not putting herself in the rotation in the power play. I don't think she likes bowling in the power play. So, so it's just Duchess is leaking runs. Now, all of a sudden, that required run rate is below the run rate achieved.
Yeah, well, rate achieved of 8.3, that's the highest run rate that we've seen from any team so far in the competition. Just a very good start in this power play.
That's too wide. Luckily for Zintle Mali, Gandhi Jafta is alert at extra cover. Or actually, Paulina Mashishi is alert. She's the double-hatted player in this over.
One forwards, one backwards.
Yeah, gotta love cricket in COVID. That's a full toss played out to the leg side, and a single has been taken. A quick one by Lizelle Lee. Good presence of mind to rotate the strike. That's how you close out this innings, is to try and rotate as much as possible. 117 needed off 94 balls. Straying in her line down the leg side, easy pickings for Andrew Steyn, another single.
Yeah, good fielding by Michaela Andrews. That could have pierced the field, but she managed to get her body behind it.
It's a runner ball here, nothing too risky required from the Starlights. The fielders out on the boundary are at the point, as well as a third man. And with that fielder out at the point boundary, it presents an opportunity to find an easy single.
Yeah, it's been a very calculated chase so far. Really attacking the bad balls, but also rotating the strike on the good balls.
3 runs off this over after 4 balls from Zintle Mali. In the power play, it's you would take that as Sunelis. She just needs to finish strong. These overs can be ruined by a few boundaries or some extras. Played out on the full, did Andri Steyn straight to Sinalo Jafta at square leg, no run there. One more ball to close out this over. You gotta bank these overs if you are the Duchesses. Finish strong is important for Zintle Mali right now. Back foot punch, quick single taken to Sunelis, shy at the stumps, and she just misses that. Living a little dangerously there, Andri Steyn.
I think it's a good single. I think she would have been safe even if the ball had hit the wickets, as we see the replay here. Oh.
And we are looking, it's quite tight.
I think she would have very only... I'll pretend that it was safer than that. About an inch into the crease.
But the other thing also, as the batting team, you need to put pressure on the field, and this is the one way to put pressure. Just don't run to approach.
Yeah, don't put pressure on yourself at the same time.
Yeah.
So 1 over left in the power play. We'll see what Sunelis is looking to do with that. We've seen a lot of bowler rotation already.
Michaela Andrews resuming. Good to see Faith Tunnicliffe also acting as a senior player, helping guide this very young and inexperienced Duchess team.
Yeah, I mean, experienced player, not in terms of age, but in terms of exposure, because I think she's 22, the same age as the bowler that she was speaking to there, Michaela Andrews. Yeah,
Michaela Andrews from the Southwestern Districts, very good bowler there for them. She's she's only played in 3 WSL matches and has taken 4 wickets with a best score of 343.
That was obviously in the last MSL that she managed to achieve
2.0 right here at Newlands. Great bowling, great batting, just good cricket all round there.
Yeah.
Great fielding off her own bowling. The Duchesses seemingly look like they're settling in now. The first 4 overs were a touch on the expensive side. Now they're managing to drag it back and pull it back, and that's what you need. You just need to build a set of balls that build pressure. And
it will be easier to contain once you are allowed all those fielders outside the ring as the power play ends.
Good shot for a single there from Andri Steyn. A little bit too wide from Michaela Andrews.
But yeah, be very wary of the base that's been built here. The longer Lizelle leads there, the faster she's going to score.
Yes, and that's the prized wicket that Sunelis is looking to get. I honestly think she's the one who can take that wicket of Lizelle. I think just right now she's just slightly fearful of having a field that's in.
Right.
In the power play and giving Lizelle Lee a spinner to face. Lizelle Lee down the ground with a lot of intent there. It was a full, slightly wide, and it got dispatched over long on for 4. Just stand and deliver.
Yeah.
Lizelle Lee's total now moves to 24. She's enjoying this pace bowling from the Duchesses.
Oh, lovely shot
in the air and over the top for 1 bounce of 4.
We are waiting for the umpire to confirm that. But yeah, vintage Lizelle Lee, 4 in the end, scoring at rapid rate so far. 28 runs off just 17 deliveries from Lizelle Lee.
Great stroke making from Lizelle Lee.
This is what we've been waiting for from her this whole competition.
From the Starlights.
It's good to finally see her fire.
Just disappointing that Chloe Tryon had to withdraw, but Good 2 shots right now. Down the leg
Follows
side,
them
another
up with-
4. Michaela Andrews' overs are being decimated here by Lizelle Lee. She's just being put under immense pressure, just
And then-
overcorrecting that last time.
Yeah, and Lizali showing that she's able to play those aggressive attacking shots, but also just put away the bad balls there without having to be...
And that brings up the 50 inside the power play. This is the highest score that we've seen in a power play in the 5 games
is-
of the WSL.
necessary when you're chasing the highest score of the competition so far. Just 1 ball left now in this power play.
Lizelle looking to take the single, and she's back safely. A little bit of a mix-up in the field between Faye Tunnicliffe and Gandhi Jafta, chasing the same ball. Not a lot of communication in the field from the Duchesses, but that ends the power play. 50 runs off of it for no run. That is also the 50-run partnership between Steyn and Lizelle Lee. Lizelle 32 off 19, Andre Steyn 18 off 17, 5 4s and 1 6 from Lizelle.
Yeah, it's been 50 off only 35 balls for that partnership. And as you were saying, Paul, the highest power play score in the tournament so far.
Yes,
And,
Michaela Andrews' over just went from bad to worse.
It did, unfortunately. And see that Mona Lisa Lachori is on the field for Sine Luce, it looks like. Sine left the field at the end of the last over, the previous over. Faye Tunnicliffe appears to be taking charge of the team in her absence. And it's going to be Alyssa Erxleben,
to resume her spell. She's bowled the first over 1-4-7.
Now the field able to be spread. There are indeed 4 fielders on the boundary, and Erxleben's going to be bowling her
In front of
off
square.
spin. Oh, it's a good first ball, and Andre Steyn trying to guide that one down to the vacant third man area.
Just wasn't wide enough.
No, it wasn't. It was too close to her, definitely, to do that. Paul, you're 100%. Oh dear, she just can't.
Andre Steyn
get
missing
hold of
out on
Yeah,
that one.
she-
That was short, and many batters' eyes would have
Absolutely.
lit up there at the prospect of
See,
dispatching that over mid-wicket.
Definitely, it was. She's not didn't set herself correctly for that one. That's a
Good
much
play
better.
down the wicket there
Better.
from Andre Steyn. Single taken positive cricket
Yes.
needing to be played, and a positive in the meaning of coming towards and playing forward to the spinner. Don't play off the bounce or off the turn or off the turf.
Absolutely.
Try and negate that by coming forward.
Lizelle Lee is looking ominous at the moment. And
There's
she
that
does
cut.
find that shot, and she plays it almost effortlessly. And that's Sinola Jafta chasing it down to the third man boundary, not getting any help from the Hardidar there. That's a very fine third man.
Looks like the Hardy Dars have dispatched that Egyptian geese family.
It does seem like they have done. They've reclaimed the 6-gun Grawl Newlands for themselves, the Hardidars, as we did have those geese there for the England tour.
That's a good shot there from Lizelle Lee, just playing it down the ground for another single. You know, loving how these two are able to just rotate the strike, manipulate the field.
Very, very important. I mean, they're not going for the big shots unless the ball is there to hit.
That's short and wide, but played out to the sweeper at point. Another
Much
single.
better over from Erxleben that time, and just tracking it back a bit, only 5 off it. And she did keep it nice and tight outside the off stump and not giving them anything to hit on the leg side, which for an off spinner is really good. And she's, I have been impressed by her. I watched some of the tournament last year, in the 50 over tournament, and really she had a very good tournament there for Northwest.
I think the one thing that she might need to look at bringing into her game is possibly bowling the ball slightly quicker.
Yeah.
And not necessarily darting it in, giving it that flight, but a little bit more pace. A lot of, especially in South African conditions, you can bowl it slightly quicker as a spinner, just to try and rush the batters. Obviously, in subcontinental conditions and a lot drier conditions, dropping the pace down can also be something that she can do. She use. So I'm assuming possibly in her home conditions in the Free State, that pace works.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that the spinners we have seen, a lot of them are really getting slow turn off the pitch, making it easier for the batters to play.
Gabisile Nkosi, left arm seamer, starting her spell today. She didn't play yesterday, and she's in for Mona Lisa Lahori. First ball played out to the fielder at the point boundary, Gandhi Jafta.
It's going to be very important for her to keep this ball angled across the right-hander. She can't afford to stray down the leg side, especially bowling left arm over the wicket from the Kelvin Grove end. And she will have some help from the wind potentially with the swinging that ball in, although, let's see.
That's a full toss. That's not going to help. The fielding of Gandhi Jafta trying to use her legs there to stop the ball racing to that boundary for 4, but she just can't.
No,
the application wasn't there.
No.
It's not something you'd want to see from a fielder. Just let her go and not get yourself injured.
She didn't. No attempt to dive forward and try and stop it with the hands. Trying more to guide the ball into the net like Aubameyang may be doing for Arsenal.
I think she'd do better because she got a boot onto it.
She did get a boot onto it. It's true, yeah.
That's the line we're looking for.
Yeah.
Bring Lizelle Lee forward with that angle.
That's right.
It is a if she came over the wicket, it would be. If she came around the wicket, it would be an easy 4 ball for Lizelle Lee. But that angle just bringing her in.
Needs to get that. She does need to get that ball moving away from the right-hander. And again, it's
another wide one, and Lizelle looking to play at that one. But nice, lovely dot ball from that is Gabisile Nkosi.
And that's what she needed with the previous boundary that Lizelle Lee hit through that area.
Yeah, the left arm seamer from KZN Inland, managing to only get her second game at WSL this year.
Oh, that again! Oh, that! Oh,
could it be a return? Run out of the non-strike.
I don't know. Did she actually touch the ball? It looked like she had actually got a touch to it, but perhaps not. They would have appealed, I'm sure.
Yes, we saw a wicket yesterday, similar to that. I think it was against the Starlights with the Coronations being run out at the non-strike.
It was the Coronations being run out. Yes,
I think it was. I think it probably was Andrew Stein. At the non-strikers end.
I don't think she got a touch to it. No, she was nowhere near it. If she had, it would have been out. This is going to be a wide.
That is wide.
Just gone a little bit wider and wider, and that one just straying a little bit down on
pushing
the
it a little bit more than what is.
Hasn't been a bad first over. I mean, had the unfortunately Gandhi Jafta not being able to stop that one out in the covers, she'd be bowling to her field though. I mean, she's got a 5-4 offside field. That one's going pretty much straight to the fielder.
Struggling with her length. She's just bowling it too full. Looking to get it in the block hole, which is something you want your pacers to try. But with that angle, she could still bowl it slightly shorter, maybe even back of a length and bring in that offside field.
So 8 off that first over from Gabisile Nkosi, and we're going to see a change of bowling at the Wynberg end. It's going to be Paulina Mashishi who's going to be bowling her leg breaks from this side, and it's going to be interesting to see if she can get any purchase on this surface. It must be wearing now. It's been used the third day that they're using the same surface, and having had 80 overs a day on the surface so far, one would think perhaps there is going to be a little bit of purchase. It'd be interesting to see if she does push the ball through a bit, as you were saying.
Day 3 test match wicket?
Yeah, probably. That's normally the best one to bat on at the Newlands. So we shall see what happens.
Nice little pull down the ground from Andre Stein to begin that Mashishi over.
That was a pretty impressive underarm throw there from Michaela Andrews.
Underarm still works?
It does still work. It's almost...
Not as
a softball pitcher, you know,
but,
as well.
But from a fielding perspective, it still works.
Yeah, we won't ask Trevor Chappell about that one, as it's Mashishi again. That may well go for 6, and it does.
Over the short Gandhi Jafta, who made a valiant attempt, but
indeed.
Lizelle Lee
yeah.
is in power mode right now.
She is indeed, and that one was sitting up, as the previous one did as well, just sort of sat up, and that she made no mistake. Would have needed LeBron James on the boundary there to have taken that one, I think, Paul.
I'm not sure if even if you got LeBron, you would have been able to catch that. The basketball's slightly larger.
Slightly larger, yes, it's true. So it looks like Lizelle Lee is seeing it like a basketball at the moment, and she's definitely making the most of her opportunity today.
Quicker ball there from
yeah.
Paulina darting it in, which is what you get from leg spinners once you've been hit for
Absolutely.
a 4.
Oh, it's,
Googly there outside the off stump. Good
much
fielding from
better.
Exlibin at point.
That's her specialist position we've come to see during this tournament. She's been a backward point the entire time for the Duchesses, and certainly a good arm there in that position. This one she's not going to get
Short and
to
wide.
No.
Lizelle Lee doing what she does best, and
Yes.
what a way to get to her 50 runs.
Yeah, and that
Lizelle
is,
Lee
wow.
50 not out.
And that off only 29 balls with 7 4s and 2 6s. Lizelle Lee. Wow, what an innings. This is what we've been waiting for from Lizelle Lee, having been out in the first over of both her innings so far in the tournament. This could be the one that takes the Starlights to challenging for the title, in fact. So they could well be doing with this innings.
If the Starlights win this one, you'll have one team on 2 wins. They'll need help from the Coronations to ensure that the Thistles don't come out with 3 wins.
That's right.
And you'll have 3 teams, and we just then go to the calculations and do the mathematics. Not Bafana mathematics, but mathematics nonetheless. That is the 8th 50 we've seen over the past 3 days.
Very
no
impressive.
score of over a century.
Yeah.
But in the previous 2 WSLs, we've seen 850s.
Right.
Now in this one, we've seen the
850s, and it's all looking very much like, unless Lizelle Lee actually gives it away herself, that she looks really set for 100 today. 51 already she's on.
76
only 9 overs
needed to
bowled.
win. Can she get 50 of those 76 runs?
Oh, my
this
word.
one straight down the throat of the
Oh,
long
no.
on, and it is dropped by Kelsey Adams on the
Yeah,
boundary
unfortunate.
at long off.
Yeah,
Lizelle
it's-
Lee managing to get the Starlights getting 2 runs off of
Yes,
that, but
they did.
another dropped chance from this. Today, actually, we've seen
Yes,
3 drop
we
catches
have,
today in this match.
Not an easy catch, it must be said, for Kelsey Adams, but one you would expect at this level. Maybe if selected for this, it would have been a good catch to take. Lizelle Lee really taking the game away from the Duchesses
did
at
hit
the
it
moment.
quite hard.
She did. It wasn't an easy catch. I would have probably run a mile to try and get away from the ball. Yeah, she had to really reach for that one, didn't she? So,
Ramping it up over the fielder at point, another single taken.
so it's they're really well in pursuit. 8.4 runs and over already that they're batting at, and halfway past the total they require. I mean, past the halfway
Now
mark.
the required rate is 6.8. They can walk this, can the Starlights, but knowing Lizelle Lee, she'll want to do it in style. Nice little cut there past the 2 fielders behind square on the offside for 4 runs.
Yeah, and that is Mona Lisa Lahori on the field for Sine Luce at the moment. Sine, we're not sure why Sine's gone off the field.
Yes.
But Faye Tunnicliffe is leading the Duchesses on the field.
And it's really important because Sune Lees is the leading wicket taker for this Duchesses side. She's taken 2 wickets in this tournament already, and so just disappointing if she can't come out and bowl today.
That's again that same angle outside the off stump, and that is where she wants to bowl, and she's been doing that to reasonably good effect. Has the left armour, Gabasile Nkosi, but just that Lizelle Lee taking full Tolliver in the previous over, and this one slightly lucky still to be there, Lizelle Lee. Almost too straight.
Is too straight. Andre looking for a single there, but sent back by her partner. We don't want to do run-outs here.
No, we
at
don't.
the WSL.
No, and we have seen a couple of pretty nasty run-outs at international level with Lizelle Lee. We definitely don't want to see anything like that happening at this stage.
Yes. Full toss is driven through to the extra cover boundary. The fielder, who is the sweeper there on the offside, cannot get there. Another great shot from Andrew Steyn. These two just dominating this bowling attack from the Duchesses.
And Poor and Kossi there going for 11 in that over. Was a reasonable over up until that point in time. Drop catch off the first ball, but unfortunately unable to see it through. And another over where the batters of the Starlights have just been dominant. Lizelle Lee, such a strong batter, really incredible how she's able to hit that ball.
Yeah.
So some consultation at the moment happening between stand-in captain Tunnicliffe and Michaela Andrews, who's going to be coming on here from the Wynberg end at 6 Gangrel Newlands. And she's just marking out her run-up. Not a very long run-up for the Southwestern District's medium pacer. And she's just getting herself set.
Got some breaking news from CSA, or for the men's side. Miguel Petores has been called up to the national test setup.
Okay.
The all-rounder from the Knights.
That's
his
very
first
good
call
for
up.
him. Fantastic. That's ouch.
Great
Michaela Andrews,
fielding,
it was
using
good.
your boot, but
Yeah,
it's going to be a little bit sore.
That looks like that was sore. Like she was limping a little bit before she even bowled that ball, and that one
Chris and I were
won't have
talking
helped.
about these cricketing boots, and they're not designed to play to play soccer, but soccer ball's a little bit more softer
It is, yes.
than a cricket ball.
Yes, and that is in the air and well over the cover field, and I think that's gone. Has it gone all the way? It has indeed. It has indeed gone
6
all the
runs.
way. Yet another 6 from Lizelle Lee, and that is the third 6 that she's hit in her innings. From the way she moves up to 60, and she'll soon be challenging the highest score of the tournament so far, which we saw in fact this morning from Faye Tunnicliffe, 69.
Yes.
So this is clearly a good wicket to be batting on today. Bowling attack looking a little bit tired.
And
at
the
the
scores
moment.
have improved
They
throughout
have.
the days,
They
which
have.
is something that is also something that can be lauded as the teams get into the tournament. Combinations are being set. Everyone's getting settled.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just disappointing that it ends today.
It is, isn't
I
it?
would have
It
wanted the
would
teams
be
to have another go at
nice
each other
to,
again.
And Lizelle Lee looking really in form now, having come off a WBBL where she was reasonably high up in the run getting. I think 13th, on the list of run getters in the 200s.
The only other person who was higher from a South African perspective was Mignon Dupré, who withdrew from this tournament before it began.
Andrews again, just regulation medium pace outside the off stump, and Kelsey Adams does the fielding out in the deep, the Western Province player, who was called into this team as a last minute replacement as far as we're aware. For the Duchesses.
57 required of 56 balls, 6.1 runs and over. They can walk it from here.
So barring any major issue in terms of wickets falling, it is going to be very much a Starlights victory. It's looking very much like that, as the Gandhi Jafta on the boundary, which she's been patrolling all day for the Duchesses, throws that one in. They take the single. It looked like she may have
like there was an
dropped that
edge
one.
there and a drop from Michaela
but
Kirk.
She'll be very upset about that. But standing up is never easy when the batter is also outside the off stump.
And to a pacey Burma
Yes,
seamer
absolutely.
there. She'll be disappointed.
And most definitely was a drop catch if we look at the reaction of the players on the field. Faye Tunnicliffe coming across to her wicket keeper and just putting an arm on the shoulder, saying tough luck, Michaela. A wicket is certainly, I think, the only thing that's going to slow the run rate now is going to be a wicket.
It looks like Sine has decided not to field.
Okay, and that certainly
we saw her
she's
walking around the boundary in the substitute's yellow jumper.
Okay, so maybe she has picked up an injury. No, she was trying to effect a run out soon after that. So it was when she left the field.
And after that batting display, it does
Yes.
take a lot out of you.
She did look tired during the batting display, down on her haunches a few times. Faye Tunnicliffe brings herself back on now from the Kelvin Grove end
Easy
of
single
this
there.
beautiful ground here at Newlands in
Gun
Cape Town.
Grill Newlands.
6 Gun Grill Newlands, indeed. And
Probably the longest name.
it could well be, and a very important sponsorship for the Western Province Cricket Association and for the Newlands ground.
It's just disappointing that you can't use the 6-gun grill basting
Yes.
or seasoning on the braai meat because we don't have fans here today.
That's true. I mean, there is no smoke wafting across the ground as you would often get at places like Centurion and at the Wanderers. So that's certainly my lasting memory of being a spectator at Centurion is that braai smell. And when I've only got my sandwich, it really isn't very nice.
Down the leg
dear.
side from Faye Tunnicliffe, and Andre Steyn helps it on for 4 runs, and taking that total to 100 now for the Starlights. 111.3 overs.
Sure.
This will probably be the quickest run chase we have seen in the WSL.
So 100 coming off 70 balls. So that is 1 ball quicker than the 100 partnership achieved earlier on today by Sine Lees and Faye Tunnicliffe. And it is now challenging for the highest partnership of the tournament, which is that 103 that was made earlier on today. Previously
It was 102.
102, yes. So this
We
is
hope
only the
it's
third.
not going to end at
We
104.
hope not. We hope it's not going to end. Yes, it would be quite nice from a statistical and mathematical point of view for it to be 101, 100, or 104, maybe. But certainly the Starlights will not want that to happen. They'll want these two to take them all the way home.
Yes, and that's what they'll be hoping for, to
Nice,
end this WSL on a
Just
high.
looking so comfortable, Andre Steyn, just knocking the ball around, giving the strike to Lizelle Lee. Lizelle Lee with that 63 and Steyn on 37. Lizelle Lee off only 37 balls, and Andre Steyn batting also better than a runner ball, 37 off 34.
Beautiful ball from Faye Tunnicliffe, drawing Lizelle Lee forward. Those ones outside the off stump have been bothering her, especially the pacier ones, that she just keeps on missing them.
Just a lapse of concentration perhaps there from Lizelle Lee, just walking into the shot rather
Her
than
balance
being
is
standard.
off. She keeps
Her balance was off.
Yeah,
yes.
so she needs to just allow that back foot to be planted. But I think that front foot is so far forward that she just keeps on falling over in the shot.
And that certainly was, one would definitely call it a false stroke. Good bowling from the stand-in captain. And that over, I think, only going for 6 in the end, which was a good over for the Duchesses, but it still looks like the mountain for them is going to be too high to climb. Let's see what Paulina Mashishi can do with that. Oh dear.
Off a misfield there, single taken. It was it went to
the
a
knee, wasn't it? It did go
but
quite
it went
quickly.
quite quickly. And fielding on the square is also very tough.
It is. That's
You've got
really
all
hard.
the hard pitches there
Ball
next
comes
to you.
quickly to you on the square with it really the grass shaved as it is on the square, and it's quite an extensive square here at 6 Gun Grill Newlands.
With all the cricket, all the practice pitches that were happening here at Newlands, as the nets behind our construction site. Mistimed sweep there from Andre Steyn, but bouncing just in front of Gandhi Jafta at deep mid-wicket.
One thing with Andre Steyn is those type of shots. She's not actually been going for the 6 or for the boundary. She's been going for it to keep it on the ground as much as she can. Whereas
Another mistimed sweep there, helped by the misfield at square leg. A single will be taken. Looking for the 2. Andre Steyn is being told to go back by her her batting partner there for no run.
So that one, trying to get that one, I think, over square leg and only managing to actually play it to that fielder that's Lahodi, who's standing next to the umpire.
Great ball
That was a
from
good ball,
Lahodi
wasn't it?
there. Just a leg break outside the right hander. Great keeping from Michaela Cook behind the stumps.
she'll be upset that she missed that catch in the Michaela Andrews over. This has been much tighter over from Mashishi.
Yes, bowling very well. That's the end of the 13th over, 105 without loss.
And thanks, and Paul stepping out now. Chris is going to be joining me for the last 7 overs. I was going to say the last rights for the Duchesses, but it may not be that case. We will see. One wicket to fall may make a difference.
I've been doing some more maths in the background. Obviously, it's still a 3-horse race to win the overall competition between the Starlights, Coronations, and Thistles. The Thistles have 2 wins, so they're the most likely to do it. Starlights right now are behind on net run rate behind the Coronation, so they need to win this game with overs to spare if they want a chance of winning the overall competition.
They certainly have the right player out there, the right batter out there in Lizelle Lee. If anybody can get them over the line quickly, it's going to be Lizelle, 65 off 40 balls, and it's Alyssa Erksleven who's into the attack from the Kelvin Grove end, and immediately she swung away past a diving Kelsey Adams sorry, it's not Kelsey, that's Sanola Jafta at deep mid-wicket, and another 4 for Lizelle Lee. She now moves to 69, I think it is, 69 she moves to, which is the joint highest score of the tournament so far.
Equaling what we saw earlier today.
That's right.
In this very same game from Faye Tunnicliffe. And she does one better here.
Yeah, she does indeed. And it's out into the deep where Gandhi Jafta is doing duty out on the deep cover boundary. And unsurprisingly, the field is reasonably widespread, but not as widespread for Andre Steyn. That's played very nicely. That's into the deep cover area again. More work for Gandhi Jafta on that boundary. We have 5-4 offside leg side field for Erksleven. It's a short third man backward point. Deep cover, short extra cover, and a long off on the offside. And that's played. Oh, that was Lizelle Lee getting that one in the air backward of square sort of 45, and I think the fielder there, Michaela Andrews, thought she might have been for a catch at one stage, but unfortunately then knocking on and going through for 2 they are. Lizelle Lee into the 70s.
And if I've done my maths correctly, the Starlights need to win this game within 18.2 overs in order to have
it
any
looks highly
mathematical.
possible of this catch, maybe. Yes, it's taken, and that is the end of Lizelle Lee, and that may well be it's an interesting twist maybe in this
it
match.
makes it slightly less likely. I guess if the Starlights win here and then the Coronations and the Thistles were to tie the final game, then they still have a chance. But realistically, to have a mathematical chance, fewer than 18 overs really would be the target.
Yes, well, it was an excellent catch taken in the deep, and we're just trying to see who.
About Sanola Jafta.
Yeah, Sanola Jafta, the wicket keeper, who's been fielding in the deep.
Not at the
today.
moment, in case you think she had gloves out there on the mid-wicket boundary.
That was an excellent catch by the South African international to get rid of a wicket-keeping partner.
One of the very many
alternative
wicket-keepers that we have in this country.
Yeah, so a great innings there comes to an end by Lizelle Lee, 72, the highest score of the tournament so far. And she'll be very happy with that, but I think unhappy that she hasn't been able to take the Starlights home. And so still, this could still be a contest potentially.
Joined at the crease now by Nondomiso Changase. She hasn't managed to fire either so far. She scored a duck in the first game and 6 off 8 deliveries in the second. She's been a consistent bowling option. Been promoted up the order here.
I think, the Starlights clearly are not going to be concerned yet. It should be no issue having lost the 1 wicket. But Andre Steyn will want to definitely bat all the way through now. She's facing Erksleven. Taking a quick single. Good fielding from Michaela Andrews. Coming in, hurting herself, it looks like, as she threw and dived after that, but she's all right.
She's
just,
up and about. Disappointed with the throw, I think. It didn't come in quite as quickly as she would have wanted. Yeah, it was a half chance there for the run-out, not realistically. Good running. And
Chris, today we saw the innings we've sort of been expecting to see from Lizelle Lee the entire tournament.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one for the supporters who know what she's capable of.
Absolutely.
Would have been very disappointed if we didn't get any of that from her in the competition.
And so yes, eventually going for 72, Lizelle Lee. And it's still going to be Andri Steyn going to be facing Paulina Mashishi, who is bowling from the commentary end that we're at
The Weinberg
this week, the
end as well.
Weinberg end.
Yeah.
And
Quite a fast delivery, but very short. The appeal, perhaps, it's wided in the end. So
yes, it's wided, but I think by the reaction of the wicketkeeper and the bowler, either they're putting on a very good show for the umpire, or they're trying to.
Two reasons to appeal: either you're trying to distract the umpire from calling the wide, or you genuinely think it's out. That seemed like a genuine appeal.
It did,
It's
definitely.
And again, this one fuller, which is what you would want, and it's going towards the long on region, where it is picked up again by Sonala after the catch taker from earlier.
Moved around and still on the boundary. So once again, the captains are putting their most experienced players and fielders on the boundaries. This is probably the least experienced team in the tournament, the Duchesses, in terms of number of players who have played for South Africa.
Yeah, amongst the internationals, Sonali, Sonala Jafta, they're missing two internationals. Mignon Dupree and Robin Searle were supposed to be part of the side. They're not there, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that certainly has hamstrung them in their attempts to do well in the tournament.
Very tempting slow delivery there.
And it kept a bit low after it pitched, and Shangase unable to get it through the field, which has just come in for her. Actually, we've got Kelsey Adams now at a conventional cover rather than deep cover.
Putting some pressure under the new batsman. Almost played on there by Shangase.
That was, she'll be upset with herself on that one. Brought the angle bat down. Again, not playing it straight into the covers. The angle bat nearly getting her to play on. As you said, Chris, it was a very close thing. She should be happy with this over so far. Nice amount of air. Knocked on by Zintle Mali, and they're going to be able to take two as the extra cover fielder unfortunately was not able to effect the stop there. So Shangase off the mark with that two. Should be looking to take it home, I would think, with Andri Steyn. She'll want to get a good innings, I would think, today.
That's always the ambition. Lovely delivery there.
And, looks like she's again playing this off the pitch rather than trying to pick it up in terms of flight on the arm. And that was a good ball. Batter not necessarily expecting or wanting it to go down to that short third man. That's a good over from Mashishi. Only two off it. Three off it, sorry, in that over. It was the 3 or 4 off that over.
Looking at all the mats again, they would need to score it within 18 overs to get a better run rate than the Coronations. But then they wouldn't be able to get a better run rate than the Thistles unless the Coronations thrash the Thistles, in which case the Coronations will have a better overall net run rate. I don't think it's possible at this point for the Starlights to take it overall, but they would like to get a win under their belts.
It's interesting because with 5 overs to go, still plenty of wickets in hand, but they still need 33 to win. And the scoring rate has slowed significantly since the loss of Lizelle Lee.
Although that delivery from Melissa X11 increases the run rate very easily.
Yeah, I think she looked a bit upset, a bit disappointed perhaps. Upset is perhaps the wrong word. Disappointed that was called wide. Just inside that, or probably just cutting that red line. Yeah, it's only going to be the single for Andri Steyn. One feels that Shangase under pressure here, perhaps. I mean, there isn't much pressure in the game, but you almost feel that she feels that she's under pressure, looking at how she's approaching it.
There's always a bit of pressure to replace Lizelle Lee at the crease. She sets a high standard to live up to.
And just taking her guard for the first time here at the Weinberg end, Nondamisa Shangase, and really impressed with her bowling throughout this tournament. I mean, she really has improved tremendously as an off spinner, as it's Erksleben now. And this pressure being put on the new batter. It's almost as if the Duchesses would want Nondamiso to stay there. That's a great catch. That's an excellent catch.
Yeah, you were talking about captain. The pressure to score quickly. There, she may have lost her head just a little bit. Goes for the bigger shot and is caught by a very close cover fielder.
At the end of Nondobiso Shangase, only the 2 runs off 6 balls, and a really good catch. And if you're watching this, potentially you can watch it again. It was really well taken by the stand-in captain Faye Tunnicliffe, diving to her left-hand side, taking it two-handed. That ball didn't really get off the turf by more than, say, 30, 40 centimetres.
And we haven't seen a lot of close fielders like this, so that's great field placement as well, to have the
Very
catcher
good.
there.
And now it will be the left-handed captain of the Starlights, Laura Goodall, coming in. And
She had an excellent innings yesterday, at the right pace as well, 22 of 13 deliveries.
that in the end was
That's-
potentially the difference between the teams.
And that sort of
there.
innings here would be ideal for the Starlights.
Would be. So, yeah, good catch on the square fielding there. Faye Tunnicliffe, she brought herself into that catching position at short extra cover for exactly that purpose. And so Erksleben decides to come around the wicket to the left-handed Goodall, who'll be facing her first delivery, the 4th of this, the 16th over. That's well bowled.
Yeah, good testing delivery to start off.
So news here is that Sine Lys is off the field for the Duchesses. We don't have the reasons. She did look very fatigued during her batting stint. We have Mona Lisa Lekhodi replaced her.
Lovely sweep shot, unrewarded though, as it doesn't make it past the field at a short square leg.
So this over so far, successful one, only 2 runs off it, and it's starting to put the brakes on the Starlights. And that wicket of Lizelle Lee has been very important.
Very similar delivery to the previous one. Again, swept, again doesn't make it past the square leg fielder.
My goodness, has these 2 wickets that have fallen, those of Lee and Shangase, have really meant that the Starlights have fallen a bit behind the 8 ball. 7.7 runs required per over now.
Still very
31, is it? Off 16, or 4, 31 off 4. Yeah. And more than still
Well,
still
within
doable,
the realms
isn't
of
it?
possibility,
Yeah.
especially with Andri Stenstel, though we've also got Masabata Klaas coming in
Yeah.
later in the order, who we know can
true,
score
can
quickly
hit
if
the
necessary. And yeah, Laura Goodall scored quickly yesterday, so
She did.
just need to settle.
One sense as though they need 1 boundary per over. Mashishi quite tight in the previous over. Will she be able to contain Andri Stain in this over? And we'll see after this one's called dead ball. She's held on to that as she came through. Mashishi, a key role to play for the Duchesses. Oh,
So Mashishi,
Yeah.
probably one of the players picking up the slack from Sine Lys not being
Yeah.
able to bowl at the moment.
That's
She
right.
only bowled 3 overs in each of the previous games. Now she is bowling a 4th.
this is coming on with, and that's well hit, but Sanola Jafta's got that one covered and gets that throw and gets to the ball quickly and gets the throw in as quickly, it must be said.
Definitely.
A good arm for a wicketkeeper. Really impressed with the fielding we've seen from Sanola Jafta today out in the field. And we've got both Jaftas on the boundary on the leg side, in fact now coming in for the left-hander. So for the left-hander, Mashishi has got a 4-5 offside leg side field.
Jafta
at the
coming
moment.
up into the ring as there's now a square leg in place.
Backward point on the edge of the circle. She's changing around and she's going to have a short third man, deep cover, short extra cover, mid-off. Deep as a long on, and we'll wait for a minute. Oh! My goodness. Laura Goodall just struggling now that she's come to the crease, not able to get the ball
Yeah, she's
off.
only just got there, hasn't managed to get any runs away from the 3 deliveries that she's faced so far. It's flighted and tempting, and Goodall plays it very well. There is a sweep on offside, and so they just go through for the single. But off the mark now is Laura Goodall.
Yeah, so this over so far, 4 balls gone, only 2 runs off it, and that's exactly what the Duchesses will have wanted.
Yeah, a lovely over to follow up the wicket taking
Yeah.
over. You want to maintain that pressure,
Yeah.
and that's been done brilliantly by Mashishi.
The run rate now approaching like 9 and 0.
And
That one's in
here's
the
another
air, and
chance
that
at a
should be a
catch.
catch. And it's taken.
Underneath it, Michaela
Yeah,
Andrews
and she has
always
shown
in the
us.
wickets.
She doesn't drop them, does she? She took
No.
2 in the first match on Monday, and this could well be the turning point for the
Yeah.
Duchesses.
And yeah, Duchesses they'll be very excited that they're in with a chance here. They've got a chance at their first win in the contest. You can see the team spirit.
Oh, they really,
there.
it's fantastic. I mean, the just the way that they all ran to embrace each other when that wicket fell shows incredible team spirit, with a scratch team coming together just for this tournament. It's really wonderful to see.
A lot of them all know each other. There's a strong Northerns backbone to this lineup. There's still, you're bringing in other players, and over a short period, it must be a challenge to get a culture of team spirit and morale there. But it does look like the Duchesses have done that, despite the adversity that they've faced so far.
Absolutely, and so high fives all round, and some of the more experienced provincial players, Alyssa Erxleben, they're just encouraging her fellow players. And Michaela Andrews, another very good catch, and she's certainly, I've been impressed with her outfielding, and pretty useful medium pacer.
Definitely, and
so
we haven't seen her batting much in this competition, but she did score 117 in the domestic competition earlier this year.
So Laura Goodall is on strike. She's been joined by Nicole de Klerk, and it'll be Goodall on strike because they crossed last ball of the Mashishi over, in fact of the Mashishi spell.
Reverse sweep,
and she
another
got her.
catch.
It's another wicket.
It's Mona Lisa Lachori who takes the catch.
Oh
and
my goodness.
Now we've got
it's all happening, isn't it? Last two balls of the spell from Mashishi. She takes 2 wickets, and this is putting the Starlights chase under into complete disarray.
Yeah, they couldn't have asked for a stronger base, and now it does seem like they're slipping just a little bit. Hopefully the mature head of Masabata class will be able to.
Wow, that reverse sweep there in the air from Laura Goodall, and if you're looking at it now, she just really picks it up off the top edge, and a very easy catch for the substitute fielder Lachori.
The reverse sweep looks very good when it comes off, but it's also the shot that's most criticised when it doesn't. And
so, the last 2 overs we've seen 3 wickets falling for the addition of only 4 runs.
Right.
And that has put the brakes on the scoring rate significantly. Yeah, she unfortunately will not get a chance to get that hat trick because she's just bowled the last ball of her spell. And as we know, if you are playing in a 2 innings match and you get 2 wickets off the last balls of your first spell, you can still get a hat trick if you get a wicket off the first ball of your next spell in the second innings.
Can't go across games.
It
so
doesn't,
you can have a hat trick in spirit next time.
Yeah. So it's now stand-in captain, on-field captain, because Sinead Luce, I'm sure, still is actually on the field at the moment. She's talking to Mona Lisa Lachori down here on the boundary. She has her bib on, but she's directing efforts from the boundary at the moment. Oh,
and a wide delivery here from Zinhle Mali.
That's unfortunate there. Can ill afford to give away extras at the moment. That's only the 4th extra in the innings. It was also noticeable in the Starlights bowling effort that they also were very parsimonious in terms of the extras.
The sort of thing that you do expect to come down as the tournament continues. Zinhle Mali in again.
First legal delivery for Nicole de Klerk, and she just... it's so difficult now coming in as a new batter. 3 overs to go. Your run rate is now 10 and over. You've got to hit at least 1 or 2 boundaries and over, and not easy at all.
I think the game at this moment is the Duchesses to lose. They just need to do their job.
And that's what they are doing. Good ball again from Zinhle Mali. Paulina Mashishi in incredibly quickly from that short mid-wicket.
The more experienced head of Masabata class just speaking to Nicole de Klerk there. We'll have to see who takes the senior role in this partnership.
Well, it should be class, I would assume. I mean, but somebody's going to have to hit the ball off the square at the moment, which is they're finding it difficult to do.
Malian again. Oh,
that's in the air, and that may well be another catch, is it? No, it's not. It falls into the gap between the mid-wicket and the long on, and that was there between Mashishi and that is Nkosi, Gabasile Nkosi, who's at long on. It's only the single taken by Nicole de Klerk, and she's off the mark. But they've already used up 3 balls in this over, only 2 runs so far. Zinhle Mali now will bowl be Masabata class's first ball.
Yeah, rate required up to 10, and even singles will see that required rate rocket up.
So that wicket of Lizelle Lee, I mean, as we saw yesterday with the Coronations, perhaps not to the same extent, the Coronations losing Laura Wolfhard had a massive impact. This has been just disastrous for the Starlights.
And again, not quite able to get it off the square from Masabata class. Good tight bowling from Zintlemali. These bowlers working well together to build off the pressure of the previous over.
So this has been a tremendous comeback from the Duchesses. I mean, having been beaten in their first 2 games, this is their chance to redeem themselves, and that they're now busy making that work for themselves as they just quite what looked like a winning start from the Starlights.
Perhaps highlighting the absence of a player like Chloe Trine in the middle order, who you would trust to keep that high run rate going. Masabata class able to just get that over the ring as they come through for 2.
Good running, very good running from Nicole de Klerk, running to the danger end.
And they're going to need a lot more of that.
They are indeed.
The order of the day is just about 2 runs per delivery at the moment.
So they need 25 to win off 13 deliveries.
Got a long on, long off, and a deep mid wicket, as well as a sweeper on the offside.
Oh, that goes straight off I think almost more off the leading edge of the bat, as it was aimed to go to the leg side, and there is a spring in the step of the Duchesses at the moment.
And every shot like that doesn't penetrate the ring will frustrate the Starlights batters even more, and we may see looser and looser shots
it will indeed.
as they get more desperate.
So, who is going to be entrusted with the penultimate over? It is indeed Michaela Andrews, the Southwestern District's medium pacer.
A little bit expensive so far, but what we've seen so far, one would imagine that she'll be able to bring that back in this over and maintain the pressure that's been built in the previous 3.
I mean, it is. She was taken apart by Lizelle Lee and Andre Steyn in that incredible partnership of theirs.
And that happens
over
to the
100.
best.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, so Michaela Andrews. Bowling from the Weinberg end here at 6 Gungrel Newlands. That may well go to the boundary. Faith Tunnicliffe cannot get there.
And that's much needed boundary scored.
So Michaela Andrews straying onto the legs, and that's not where she wants to bowl. She needs to keep that ball. She's got a 5-4 offside field. And
we may see a change as the long off field is coming in.
Yeah, and I think square leg's going to be going out onto the boundary. I would be surprised if that doesn't happen. Zintlemali coming in to give some advice to her fast bowling partner. That's actually what's happened there.
We are going to have a long off, long on, and a deep mid wicket as well as the 3rd man. As
And
this
that's
one
going to
goes
go for 4 again.
2 square leg, the place that we highlighted, the absence of fielders, and another boundary. This
is not clever cricket from the Duchesses now. They've got themselves into a position where they can make it very difficult for the Starlights, and they haven't done that. 2
boundaries make a massive difference to the complexion of the game, where 25 off 12 suddenly becomes 17 off 10.
Michaela Andrews is going to have to get that ball outside the off stump.
And keep the square leg. That is what they're doing now. They've kept this deep square leg, and they're going to have the deep mid wicket, a long off and long on as the 3rd man comes up.
My goodness. It's Let's see what's happening here. This one is
almost takes out her batting partner. Masabata class has to duck underneath that as it's picked up by the fielder at long on.
It's a single to the total, 135. 16 needed off 9 deliveries.
And that's all you need to do.
My goodness. Well, we saw a very exciting last over in the match yesterday where the Coronations just failed to get over the line against this Starlights team. And is it going to be reversed this time? I don't think so.
Lovely shot. Just over the ring, despite the best diving efforts of the fielder there.
Did they take a run there? I don't think they took a run, did they? Maybe they did. They did take the one, single. just the single to Masabata class. Huge attempt by Gandhi Jafta there, just couldn't quite get hold of it.
Another big shot. This one looks like it's going to bisect the... Oh no, it's picked up by the square leg fielder who's been put in place for the end of the over. They go through for 2 chances.
And they're going to get there easily.
Yeah, it's a long throw to the non-striker's end, and it wasn't able to get there just in time. So another 2 run And this looks like we're going to have a very close contest on our hands. Another one.
It does. 13 now needed.
We've been treated so far in this competition with lots of close games going into the final over.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting one. Zintle Mali will probably bowl that last over.
Another big shot also to square leg as they go through for just a single this time.
Mona Lisa Lechori, the substitute fielder, making no mistake to get that one in, and it's 12 runs needed off the final 6 deliveries.
With the single of the last, de Klerk will be facing the first delivery of the final over.
And one senses she's the key, Chris. Hit those 2 4s off the first 2 balls of Michaela Andrews over. And she's already gone to 13 off only 8 deliveries.
43 runs in Michaela Andrews' 4 overs, which I think is the most we've seen conceded by anyone in this competition. Going at almost 11 and over.
She'll be very unhappy, particularly with that last over, where the first 2 deliveries were quite easily worked into the leg side.
And perhaps poor field placement counting as much as unfortunate bowling there.
So Faye Tunnicliffe now setting her field, having a look to see how she's going to be able to restrict the runs in this final over. 11 to tie, 12 to win.
And the pressure on Zintle Mali, the bowler, chosen to bowl this final over.
So giving the border medium pacer the opportunity to make a name for herself here at the WSL. It's going to be Mali from the Kelvin Grove end. That's a good delivery.
Start out, and it gets Nicole de Klerk off strike. Masabata class, more experienced head. We'll see what she's able to do with the remaining 5 deliveries of this over. 11 off 5 required.
So a boundary is almost have to have a boundary of this delivery. Prerequisite.
You need a boundary.
That's the word I was looking for. Oh my goodness, it's exciting stuff here at Newlands. And that's going to be the boundary that they're looking for.
Running away keeps the game interesting. Lovely stuff from Masabata Klaas, showing her international experience and level-headedness.
Yeah, the Duchesses fielders there looking across to Gabasile and Kosi, who it seemed thought there was a fielder behind her.
Yeah,
and actually let it go.
Not full commitment.
Yeah.
It would have been a difficult diving stop. But
I think so. So that's the boundary that was required off the second delivery.
7 or 4. Maybe advantage Starlights at this point after that boundary.
My goodness. This ball is, every ball is crucial in this over. That's only going to be 1 if it's going to be 1. Oh.
There's an appeal, but it's half-hearted as they go through for the single. 6 off 3 required.
Did hit the wickets, but 6 off 3. It's still going down to the wire. Just sense that this leg side, there's no fine leg. You just sense that this fine leg area may well be something that is going to be. She's actually out. Funnily enough, she would have been. She was actually run out. If there had been a replay available for the umpire, then she would have been run out.
It's a very half-hearted appeal from the bowler there.
It was, yes. We just saw the replay now, and direct hits so often do that. And that one, so perhaps the Duchess has been a bit unlucky there.
Really game-changing stuff right in the final over in such a close encounter.
So 5 off the last 2 balls, 4 to tie, 5 to win. That's not. It's not going to be the boundary, no.
Perfect
Well fielded by Erxleben, and it'll be all up to Nicole de Klerk to hit a boundary off the final ball to take them home.
I guess no matter what, you don't stop running until those wickets are knocked down. That's the policy.
So, how expensive could that call by the umpire be? That in fact who was that, Nicole de Klerk, or was it running to the danger end?
Yes.
I'm not sure. So, the final ball of this match, this could. That is not going to go for 4. It will
Just
be
keep
2,
running.
and that will mean there will be 1 run
that's
short.
So unfortunate.
That is 1 run short, and
well done to the Duchesses. They get their first win. You can see how much it means to them as they
means
all
a huge amount.
celebrate in the middle of the pitch.
And unfortunately for the Starlights, that puts them out of the competition.
Yeah, realistically they were out of it either way, but they could have happily finished second overall if they managed to get the win here. And we've got an effective final coming at us later today between the Coronations and the Thistles. The Coronations will need to win that comprehensively to win the overall competition. I'll do the maths in a bit, but we can summarize and talk about this game for now.
Can indeed. What a game, Chris. I mean, off the final ball, very similar to the Starlights against the Coronations yesterday, where in fact it was the Starlights who managed to restrict the Coronations from getting that.
Still, we haven't seen
run.
a successful chase.
No, we haven't. That was so close to a successful chase for the Starlights, and it just did not quite. They just did not quite get there, giving the Duchesses their first win of the tournament. And it will be Sine Luce, the captain, who will be leading them to shake hands with the opposition or fist pump with the opposition.
Even more impressive that they've
COVID
managed
time.
to pull off the win without any bowling from Sine Luce.
Absolutely, and her batting has been outstanding in this tournament. Still the leading run scorer.
Yeah, 150 runs over 3 innings. It's not difficult to figure out her average there.
But Chris, the turning point in this game, clearly the
wicket of
Lizelle Lee,
and
yes,
that just triggered a collapse as we shortly lost Shangase. The rest of the lineup. But good batting at the end from de Klerk and Klaas to keep it tight. Both of them going at over a run a ball.
I mean, having needed 25 off the last 2 overs, they really did a good job to get close.
Took advantage of the loose Michaela Andrews overs and then.
But one does sense with Lizelle Lee out for a tournament high score of 72 off just 44 balls.
Right.
It was her departure that got to them to the situation that they just fell behind on the run rate. As we've been having a look at this replay again in the final over, and
it's
the
inconsequential ultimately,
it is, but
a curious choice not to appeal just a little bit louder there.
And not having the benefit, the umpires here, of being able to refer it to another umpire looking at television screen, it shows you the benefit of having these replays. I mean, it came in 1992, I think, was the first year in which television replays were utilised.
And far more recent in the women's game.
So it's been a fantastic game of cricket yet again. The highest score in the tournament, 150. Just unable to be chased down.
You must feel hard done by to have the second highest score in the tournament and then lose by a run, 149.
So we've had a 150, a 149 and a 148 have been the 3 highest scores so far, and we're going to be taking a break. From now we'll be bringing you the match, well, the final, really, won't it, of the tournament.
Can't miss cricket. The scores have got higher and higher every day as this pitch looks like it's flattened out. We've got 2 very strong teams taking each other on in the final game. Look forward to the Coronations versus the Thistles, the decider of this contest.